Paul W. Smith, presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Now filling in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Very excited to be with you this morning. And look, we're going to do a lot of auto talk today and with our good friends over at Toyota. I always view Toyota as like a de facto big four. Like, we've got the big three, but Toyota has been here in the United States for so long, and I just view them almost as another American automaker, and they make fantastic cars, and they've taken a really interesting approach to electric vehicles. So I'll be excited to talk with them. Good morning to you, Ann Thomas. How are you this morning?
Well, good morning, Chris. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Roads are a little rough this morning, eh?
Yes, the roads are a little dicey. I was not expecting that ride. So be careful if you're out and about this morning. The snow is falling in some areas. Other areas just wet. But slow down a little bit.
And Marie Osborne sitting in with us this morning as well. And I always think it always feels like around this time of year, it's like we've gotten through the worst of the winter. But then we get a nice warm up and you're like, oh my God, it's 55 degrees out. Like, right. I got the shorts. I'm rocking the Bermudas. I got the boat shoes out. Away we go. I'm ready for spring.
This is so
And then it's like, hey, how about some more snow and ice?
Right. And then you wake up and you're like, what? Why is this here?
It almost is.
This.
It's like a surprise every time.
The good news is that starting next week, I think by the middle of the week, we might even see 60s. So we're headed for some warmer temperatures.
We'll see 60s for 15 minutes, and then it's back to
all right. Cold. But we'll take them.
Well, the other thing is you start thinking, okay, am I going to have to shovel this? Or is this going to melt? Or, I'm done shoveling. This is crazy.
That's
Ann
true.
Loves to shovel, for those who don't know.
Yes, I do.
I have not put the snowblower away yet. I haven't put it away yet.
Good idea. Good thinking on your part.
Yeah, I hate to shovel. So if you want to come over, Ann, feel free. I got a lot of driveway for you to shovel. Yeah, plenty of work for you. By the way, we are, because it's the Road Show today, we're going to be talking about Toyota, brought to you by our good friends over at Tajin and Lear. We're going to be on StreamYard today. So if you want to head on over to our Facebook or our YouTube page and Twitter, I think as well. Is that right? Yeah, I believe so. You can go check us out there, watch the show that way, and participate there as well. What looked to be a dire situation, what in these labor talks can change on a dime. We had regular season games canceled, but yesterday the Major League Baseball Players Association and the owners came to an agreement on a new labor contract, which means, Ann Thomas, we will have a full 162 game slate this season.
Isn't that the best news ever?
It's pretty good.
Chris?
It's pretty good.
Looks like we're going to have the regularly scheduled opening day on April 8th.
So, yes. Which is great news, obviously. And there had been that kind of de facto line in the sand deadline that Major League Baseball has set, which was February 28th. And if they were like, well, if we don't get a deal done by then we're missing games. The Players Association at the time said, well, if we get into early March, maybe the second and the third, we could probably still get the full game slate in. Because remember, I mean, they still have to go through spring training now. So they're going to go through an abbreviated spring training down in Lakeland for the Tigers. But it's going to be shorter. So all the time that the pitchers and catchers would have had and the position players, it's a little more of a hustle to get in shape for the season. It's not like you can just go out and play a baseball game. It's not like you can just go out and get ready to play, 10 games in 11 days and over months and months. So there is a lot of conditioning that needs to happen.
So question for you on that, Chris.
Yeah.
Is that going to be okay for the players, or are we going to see more injuries? How's this going to work out?
I mean, it's possible. I think they'll be okay. My guess is the Players Association probably told these guys, like, look, because of the unknown a little bit about the labor negotiations, try to be as ready as possible. Like be in game shape, or at least spring training shape.
Sure, right.
By the time that you would have been reporting. So I think that was probably the message. So I think a lot of these guys probably are okay, but it's it's the same thing. It's like you can't just like lace up your skates and go out and play an NHL game. You got to go through warm up and stretching and the whole thing. So
absolutely, there
is that part of it where you wonder, you're just like, okay, well, make sure everybody's all right. I would imagine early in the season, you'll probably see guys on shorter leashes. Maybe, pitchers have more of a pitch count, or you see days off earlier than you would normally. So I think they'll try to rotate a lot of players in and just see how it goes. But the good news is we're gonna have Tiger baseball back opening day as planned, and I guess I don't know when opening day will be exactly. I think they are still planning on it to begin on April 7th, but the home opener was April 8th. So whether or not it'll actually start there, or if they'll start back on the road, like they'll replay the seasons that they
we actually are hearing, Chris, that tentatively opening
day
here in Detroit is the 8th. Yeah,
8th April. Okay, well then they're gonna load those games that they missed on the front end on the back.
Exactly.
Good.
That's the plan.
All right. Well, cool. Good to see. I hadn't seen that update this morning, but good. That's very good news. In the meantime, the situation in Ukraine is becoming more. I don't know if it's more concerning, if it's more confusing, because remember that whole long 40-mile convoy of artillery, troops, tanks, the whole deal, gas, everybody that was in this 40-mile long convoy of vehicles headed toward Kyiv. Well, they have now apparently dispersed. They have now broken up into smaller groups, either reassigned to other areas, other posts, other cities, other missions, or they're kind of weaving their way into little communities, little neighborhoods, and a lot of experts, war experts, people, military minds are saying this is either an ominous sign that they're trying to clear out of Kyiv for some reason, or they're just being reassigned because maybe they don't believe they could take Kyiv. But it sounds like they're more worried that perhaps something else could be coming, and they don't want their troops and their soldiers in the line of fire. It's the WJR Road Show this Friday morning here on WJR. Chris Renwick in for Paul W. Smith, talking about Toyota today. Also coming up next, a really interesting piece from Opportunity Detroit with Paul W. Smith. I want to play that for you next right here on WJR. Don't go anywhere.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, you can
Chris,
expect
out of this 30, give me that Metro Cars read. Out of this 30, give me the Metro Cars,
for
please.
checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. You can also call our customer service team to ask for information and get the help you need. With Blue Cross, it's easy to get
Metro
care,
Cars.
tests, or treatment you need whenever you need them. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
Today's show is brought to you in part by the original and official Metro Cars. Metro Cars is the official transportation provider of WJR, and it's provided clean, safe, reliable service throughout Michigan for over 30 years. Look, for Metro Airport, transportation, weddings, or any other trips you got, make sure your car says Metro Cars on the side. Visit metrocars.com today.
This is March Madness.
Okay, you're good till we get through this tape. So
okay, cool.
The bottom of the hour, we're good.
Cool.
Defense turns to offense.
Hey, Mark Gardner. Good morning. Nice to see you.
16.
Hope you're well.
Baylor throws toward the rim, seemingly is going in. It was the Bears' night as they knocked off undefeated Gonzaga last year to win the
Mark, I haven't heard from you in forever. I'm
title.
glad you're still tuning in on StreamYard. Nice to see you.
Tournament right here.
Bundling car and renter's insurance with Geico is so easy, your neighbors are probably already doing it. So why not ask? Just say,
"Hey, did you get your hair cut? It looks cool. Also, have you saved even more by bundling with Geico?"
Or maybe,
"Hey, did you get your hair cut? It looks weird. Not weird, cool. Anyway, have you bundled with Geico?"
Or try,
"Hey, did you get your hair cut? It doesn't look weird at all. Anywho, have you saved by bundling with, hey, easy with that rake."
bundling is easy with Geico. Just ask your neighbors.
Schools in your community are experiencing a critical shortage of substitute teachers within their classrooms, teacher aides, and other support positions within their classrooms. These positions offer flexible hours and allow for a rewarding experience. EduStaff is seeking candidates for immediate employment within your community. Visit edustaff.org. That's edustaff.org to apply today.
Oh,
Support
thanks, Mark.
your community.
Appreciate
Make a
that.
difference. Apply today at edustaff.org.
There are
Just
more
keeping
ways
the
to
seat
celebrate
warm
than
for
ever
my friend
before
Paul,
at the Jeep
so-
Celebration event.
But I
Where right
appreciate
now,
that. Thank you.
well-qualified
Very nice.
returning FCA employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2022 Grand Cherokee Limited 4x4 for $259 a month for 24 months with $2,988 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra. No security deposit required. Call 1-888-925-JEEP for details. Requires dealer contribution at lease or Chrysler Capital. Current lease must end by 4/3/2023. Extra charge for miles over 20,000. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 3/31/2022. Jeep is a registered trademark.
Sure and Bigora. My Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration is back.
Paul W.'s 2022 St. Patty's Day Party is sponsored by AbsoPure, bottled water and coffee service, and by Weingarts, everything from lawn to snow, with music by the Corktown Popes.
Listen Thursday morning live from the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, where the movers and shakers gather, well, to move and shake. And if we're blessed, a limerick or two.
It's Paul W. Smith's 36th St. Patrick's Day celebration, Thursday morning on 760 WJR.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Joe and his gang.
Buy now, pay later app. Why is this hooked so many people where layaway didn't?
Don't tell my daughter this, but I went to buy her birthday cake the other day online. I bought the cake, and they asked me if I want to do 4 payments.
For a birthday cake? Did you tell your daughter you baked the cake, though?
The birthday has not arrived yet, nor is the cake, so...
Stacking Benjamins. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Penske Logistics. Penske Logistics is hiring warehouse workers in Romulus. Earn up to $27.05 an hour. No experience required. Sign-on bonus available. Apply by texting PLW1 to 25,000. That's PLW1 to 25000.
Allow extra time for the commute this morning. Slippery conditions because of light snow overnight at 275 northbound between Ford Road and Ann Arbor Road. Earlier accident there is clear. 96 Jeffries westbound at Levan. Accident blocking your 3 right lanes. That's in Livonia. 275 northbound before M14. Accident blocking the right shoulder. Road construction also in the area. And also along the Jeffries, 96 westbound at Telegraph. Collision there blocking the left shoulder. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Refresh your home this spring with new floors from Reamer Floors. Shop during their 2-day sale on March 18th and 19th. Save on all their top brands, including Fabrica carpets and rugs. Reamer Floors on Telegraph, 1 mile north of Square Lake.
Cloudy Friday morning, but not much in the way of snow around. Should not impact travel. Any flurry snow showers that you do get. Same thing this afternoon, a flurry snow shower, high 37. Cold night tonight, we'll drop back to 18. Suburbs colder, some flurries and snow showers. Saturday, partly cloudy, only in the upper 20s. Teens at night. Sunday, cloudy, highs in the mid-40s. Into the mid-50s, though, by Monday, partly sunny. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajik on News Talk 760 WJR.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Garrett Pasiak, he's brand ambassador of Detroit City Distillery. Now, the reason I say special, it's because I just met Michael Forsyth on my morning show, Monday through Friday, 5:30 till 9. And he came on the air to talk about their Punchki vodka that they came up with last year for Detroit City Distillery. And it was on the day that after 9 o'clock, people were going to be able to go online and buy it and go and pick it up at the curbside service at their tasting location. And he said, this year, Paul, we've made 5 times more. We've distilled 5 times more of the Punchki vodka because we sold out so quickly last year. Well, guess what? I got a note from Michael saying, thank you so much. They went on sale at 9 o'clock with 5 times more vodka this year than last and sold out in 22 minutes. There's a lot of reasons for that. One is it's excellent quality. That happens to be excellent quality, good old Polish potato vodka, which is important. It's not flavored vodka. It's distilled with punchki in it. And Garrett, you have been a part of this, born and raised in Detroit, in the local service industry for over a decade. You graduated Wayne State University, worked in human resources, corporate event management, and that passion for food, drink, and hospitality led you to where you are today, serving spirits from Detroit City Distillery. Garrett Pasiak. Congratulations, Garrett.
Thank you so much, Paul.
It's a lot going on there at your distillery, Detroit City Distillery. A lot going on, and so far so good.
Absolutely, 100%. We always call it Punchki Madness. When it sold out in 22 minutes, we had lots betting against. Someone predicted noon. Most of us predicted in about 3 days, but to see that 22 minutes just shocked us. So we've been working around the clock. All the production folks over there, just really got to be proud. Really love the fact. Very proud that it sold out in 22 minutes. So.
Oh, I can only imagine. And by the way, having tasted it on the air the other morning, it's really good. It's tasty. It's delicious. You can tell it's a good quality Polish potato vodka at its base. And, you think about this, if you will, Garrett, in the roaring 20s, Detroit fueled prohibition and an entrepreneurial spirit that didn't follow the rules. And now we're looking at, a century later, and 8 childhood friends started a small distillery to make alcohol the old-fashioned way. How did that come about? How did 8 childhood friends figure that out?
It's a really interesting story. A lot of fun to it. Suburb right outside of Lansing, Bath, Michigan. It's farm country. And you had Michael and our head distiller, John Paul. We call him JP. Just high school, known each other since the age of 3. Long story short, what they were doing, they were in high school, and they said, you know something? You start experimenting with fun stuff in high school. They said, why don't we go ahead when in just like the entrepreneurial spirit, let's not follow the rules. Let's start making our own, alcohol, just like they used to do way down in Bourbon County, Kentucky. And they went ahead, downloaded a little PDF when their parents were asleep back in the 90s. And they went to the hills and they started making their own moonshine. I think they called it prune juice, made of grapes, yeast, and water. So, but hey, when you're in high school, you do that. What I call the three rules: you plug, chug, and chase, and it got the job done. Then what ended up happening? They all grew up technically, and they went ahead and decided, you know something, we want to make a high quality spirit. John Paul, JP, ended up getting his PhD in microbiology from Michigan State, went ahead and worked for a brewing company. And they said, you know something, I want to make award-winning spirits. I want it Michigan only. And I want to do it in the city of Detroit. Reason being, John Paul's grandfather used to be a bootlegger and a butcher in the Eastern Market. So again, right around like 6-7 years ago, they said, you know something, let's go ahead. Let's put a 50-gallon copper pot still in an old meat house, and let's open up a distillery. High quality grains, all from Michigan. All the barrels are from a cooperage, Crow's Nest Coopery right outside of Grand Rapids. And they just went to town, and the spirits were such a hit. Won a lot of awards. You have the gold medal for the Butcher's Cut Bourbon at the American Distillation Institute in Bourbon County, Kentucky. And good news, in 2020, our homegrown rye went ahead and won double gold in San Francisco Spirits Competition. So we're really, really proud of that. Just having the roots in Detroit, having Michigan in a bottle. So
it's fabulous. And generally, you're using the finest local ingredients sourced directly from the farms near your distillery and the tasting room, located in our famed Eastern Market. It's really heartwarming to see. I just want to make sure you're talking about wanting to do it in Michigan specifically, but you want it to be available around the country eventually?
Eventually, that would be ideal. But of course, we're rooted in Detroit, and getting that production up. Got Michigan. We are in Illinois, primarily in Chicago. But the goal is eventually just to get recognized because of that award-winning flavor and taste of Michigan. We want to let everyone know that Michigan Detroit City Distillery can just pretty much compete with all the big guys all across the country. So,
well, that's exciting, and I'm excited for you. We wish you well. We're gonna follow you along the way. Give you some time from time to time to talk about that award-winning bourbon and the gin and the other vodkas and rye and whiskeys, all artisanal, small batches, if you will. As it turns out, for Punchki Day, too small a batch again.
Yeah. I don't know if there's such thing as too small a batch of Punchki vodka, but
there isn't. I can only imagine how many you're going to have to distill for next year. Was it the New Palace Bakery? Were you using their Punchki? Is that, if I remember?
Yep, absolutely. Steve Wojciechowski is our Polish distiller, as we call it. Yeah, it was an experiment, and New Palace Bakery. So again, we wanted to go ahead. Of course, the vodka's from Poland. We wanted to go ahead and get that Detroit tie to Hamtramck, which is obviously a staple for the Polish community. But yeah, New Palace Bakery, probably honestly the best punchkis you can get around. So.
Well, you sent me some punchkis and some vodka, and I was a very happy boy. And you've done a great job. People can find you at DetroitCityDistillery.com, DetroitCityDistillery.com. Give my best to Michael Forsyth and the rest of the gang, Garrett. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Garrett Pasiak, the brand ambassador for Detroit City Distillery. As we continue on the Paul W. Smith Show at WJR. Many claim to have world-class golf, but just ask Nicholas Trevino and couples. Play 81 holes on spectacular terrain with dramatic views, contours, and rolling hills as far as you can see. When you get to the horizon, you'll know exactly why it's called Treetops. Play where the major champions have played. Treetops Resort. 5 courses designed by the game's renowned designers, Robert Trent Jones Sr., Tom Fazio, Rick Smith. And don't miss playing North America's #1 par 3 course, Treetops, arguably the best collection of golf courses in the Midwest and beyond. Treetops Resort, Michigan's most spectacular resort. To make your golf getaway reservations and tee tops, visit treetops.com. That's treetops.com or call 1-888-TREETOPS, 1-888-TREETOPS. Michigan's most spectacular resort.
Jim was getting ready to transfer a $65,000 deposit for a new house. The morning of the wire transfer, he got an email giving him new banking instructions. Little did he know, cyber criminals had sent this fraudulent email. Now Jim is out $65,000 and isn't moving. Independent and Michigan-based Liberty Title can protect your real estate transaction with their umbrella program that ensures and secures your closing dollars. You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com.
Teijin Automotive Technologies is the global leader in composite solutions for the worldwide mobility industry. Our unique ability to combine engineering and chemistry result in innovations that make vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly. With a global network of materials, design, and manufacturing expertise spanning 3 continents, Teijin Automotive Technologies is the formula for better mobility. Learn more at teijinautomotive.com.
Studies show that contamination of a single commonly touched surface in an office can impact 40 to 60% of other surfaces in less than half a day of operations. I'm John Ezzo, president of New Image Building Services. We've been helping design and service infection control plans for over 33 years. Let's build a plan for your business today.
Call New Image Building Services today at 586-465-4420 or visit newimagebldg.com.
Chris Foster. More cities in Ukraine are under attack by the Russian military. Russia's defense ministry reports taking out 2 airfields in the western part of the country. Ukraine's emergency service says a kindergarten, an apartment building, and a shoe factory were hit by airstrikes in the city of Dnipro. Russian troops are still on the outskirts of the capital, Kyiv.
As we've seen across this country, they were again repelled by the Ukrainian forces. It does suggest that Putin's forces face a long and bloody campaign if they are indeed to take over this capital. And instead, they're likely to bomb indiscriminately before moving in.
Fox's Benjamin Hall. The Senate's passed a spending bill including $13.6 billion for Ukraine.
About half that money will go to equipping Ukraine and to cover the cost of sending U.S. troops to Eastern European nations. Much of the rest goes to humanitarian assistance. The spending plan now heads to the president's desk, and he's expected to sign it.
Fox's Jill Nato. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR traffic and weather first.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If cold candidate calls aren't turning into hot hiring leads, then you need Indeed, because Indeed's powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, screen, and interview candidates all from one place. Find your next great hire visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Jeffries 96 westbound at Levan. Accident blocking your 3 right lanes. Traffic getting by in that left lane only. Seeing those delays from at least Farmington Road. Also along the Jeffries westbound at Telegraph. Accident blocks at left shoulder. A 275 northbound right before M14. Accident in the area of that road construction. The right shoulder is blocked. A 20-minute delay from at least Ford Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Native Stem Cell. Native Stem Cell, the first in Michigan to offer stem cell treatment for your arthritic joints. They're the most qualified and the most experienced in this procedure. Native Stem Cell provides the best results for patients. Simply put, they are the best. NativeStemCell.com. Snow flurries for the next hour or so. Some areas not seeing any snow at all. That snow falling until 8 a.m. this morning, light dusting on the roadways, then cloudy skies this afternoon, a high of 36 tonight, cloudy, few flurries overnight, your low 17. Snow flurries, clouds, 27 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
The Players' Championship is back with one of the best fields in golf, and now you can take a shot at the Island Green too with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers get 30-1 odds on Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, or Xander Schauffele to make the cut at the Players. That's right. If any of those guys make it to day 3 and day 4 at TPC Sawgrass, you could win $150 on a $5 bet. I think when you combine his wedge game and his iron game, Colin Morikawa has situated himself very nicely to finish first place in this tournament. So I'm going to go with Morikawa for the win here. But look, there's no better time to get in on the action than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app now, sign up, use my promo code Renwick to get 30-1 odds on JT, Colin Morikawa, or Xander Schauffele to make the cut at the Players. Sign up with my promo code Renwick so they know I sent you. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official betting operator of the PGA Tour.
21 and older in Pleasanton, Michigan. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. Maximum bet $5. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Why do more Americans buy term life insurance through Select Quote than any other term life sales agency? Because Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. We found Tanya, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $12 a month. And her husband Steve, who has high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. How do we do it? At Select Quote, we aggressively comparison shop highly rated insurance companies to find you your best rates. Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
Select Quote, America's #1 term life insurance sales agency. We shop, you save. For your free quote, call Select Quote at 1-800-913-1199. That's 1-800-913-1199. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again, substituting for Paul W. Smith, here's Chris Renwick.
We're going to talk about Toyota coming up at 6:49 here this morning on the Paul W. Smith Show, on the Road Show here on WJR. But there have been developments in Ukraine overnight, including the disbursement of that 40-mile-long convoy. And it's left a lot of military minds scratching their heads, wondering what's coming down the pipe. And you look at some of the moves that Vladimir Putin has made recently, and including placing Russia's nuclear preparedness on high alert. And that's put everybody on the edge of their seats, because with a guy who's obviously erratic, with a guy who seemingly has nothing to lose at this point, you just don't know what he's going to do. I mean, it's a wild card. This is the wild, wild west, and you don't know when this guy's going to draw from his holster. So it's a really precarious situation that damn near every country aside from Russia or China find themselves in, because everybody's walking on eggshells to not escalate this thing even further. But somebody who isn't walking on eggshells is Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. He has called some of these extreme threats from Vladimir Putin a bluff. He told a German paper that nothing else is working for him, so he's going to ramp up his rhetoric because he's bluffing. Nothing else is working. The Ukrainians are handling their own on the ground, and it's a bluff. Meanwhile, you've got U.S. doctors providing free telehealth services for Ukrainian soldiers, civilians, refugees, really anybody in the region that needs assistance, that needs help, that needs an opinion from a doctor. And all of this being made available through Starlink, which is Elon Musk's internet service, and Tesla. So now you've got U.S. doctors, medical professionals being able to weigh in and at least treat people from a distance as best as they can. In the meantime, we're seeing thousands of orphans stuck in Ukraine, and attacks by Russian troops in the country continue to intensify. WJR senior news analyst Marie Osborne has more on the latest in the war in Ukraine. Good morning, Marie.
Chris, the charity Abundance International is stepping up efforts to get supplies into Ukraine. The CEO there, Mark Davis, says gasoline and transportation are going to be hard to come by.
I've got a database of some 21,000 kids, a number of maybe up to 40 different orphanages, and we're networking between the directors to talk to each other and see, what do you guys need? Because the crisis is coming in the next few weeks.
And the crisis is going to intensify. He says a lot of the kids trapped in the country right now have disabilities. They can't take care of themselves. Russian airstrikes hit near airports in western Ukraine overnight. Russian forces attacking the Ukrainian city of Mariupol. Civilians now facing dire conditions, scarce food, fuel, electricity. Bodies are being buried in mass graves there. And President Vladimir Zelensky condemning the attacks within his country overnight.
This is outright terror, blatant terror from experienced terrorists.
Now, there is movement in that massive convoy near Kyiv, and U.S. officials believe Russia is now repositioning those military assets for a multi-pronged attack on the capital and elsewhere. The U.S. today expected to move forward on revoking Russia's permanent normal trade relations status, and that would allow more tariffs on Russian imports. The announcement, look for it today from the White House, and it would require congressional action. And a couple of other quick things, important developments. Congress passing $13.6 billion in humanitarian aid for Ukraine. The Kremlin displaying some real confusion about that bombing of the Children's Hospital. First, they said that the hospital was actually emptied of patients and it was being used as an extremist base. But now Russia has taken the tactic of just completely denying responsibility, and they claim that that attack was staged, including using actors. And one last thing, the UN Refugee Agency says more than 2.3 million Ukrainians have now fled their country, over 1.4 million of them right through Poland.
This is remarkable. I mean, we know that Russia is well equipped to provide disinformation, but to say that an attack that you carried out is staged and put on by actors is a whole other level. I worry about what this means going forward here as this convoy disperses, Marie. I think that from a military perspective, I don't believe that you send a convoy of that size to the capital of, the second largest country in Europe, with the idea that you're going to pivot later on to provide some sort of serious attack. I think the plan was to take that convoy into Kyiv and try to take the capital, but it failed. And so now they have to pivot. So now they're going to disperse these people. And you're right, the multi-pronged attack is what a lot of people are fearing, whether it's attacks from different now angles into Kyiv or something more nefarious from the sky.
I had read that this couple of things, the tactic with the convoy, one of the theories is that it may have been brought in there to just instill terror in the people of Kyiv, right? You see you look out your window and this is what you're looking at, that instills terror. But one of the other things too is that this is similar to an attack that was executed by the Russians in Syria, that they brought in a lot of military assets, then kind of just parked them there and then went about their attack later. So who knows what it means, but everything that I'm reading now is that they're readying for a major attack on that city, and it will be very bloody.
In the meantime, I think we've always kind of hoped that this would end sooner than later, and then what that means for the future of Ukraine. And maybe this is something that we won't really be able to identify really what needs to be done in terms of rebuilding. But you've got Ukrainian media saying that the Russian military, Vladimir Putin, has caused $119 billion in damage in Ukraine. And this is through just the first, week and a half. We're going to see more. We're going to see more. And so you wonder, look, these European countries are so old. Some of these places are so old. It doesn't seem like there's a path forward in rebuilding some of these places. But lots of destruction already, and certainly more to come, especially with questions surrounding that convoy and what the plan is going forward. WJR senior news analyst Marie Osborne, thank you for that update.
Thank you.
In the meantime, we continue on with the Paul W. Smith Show this morning on our road show here on WJR. We're going to talk about Toyota coming up next, because there are so many things happening with Toyota at the company. We'll tell you about some of them next right here on the Paul W. Smith Show. Chris Renwick in this morning on WJR. Don't go anywhere.
Cybercrime and identity theft through real estate
Chris, out of this
transactions
30,
is a
give
$2
me
billion
that,
industry. Split closings
automotive
make you even
views
more vulnerable
billboard,
to
please.
cybercrime. Don't risk your money.
Sounds
you
really
have a
good.
choice when it comes to your title company for your real estate transaction. Independent and Michigan-based Liberty Title can protect
guys
your
sound
real estate
so much
transaction
clearer.
with their umbrella cybercrime insurance
Crazy.
policy that secures your closing dollars.
You're down here.
You have a choice. Choose libertytitle.com. Protecting your money since 1974.
6:44 this morning on WJR, and it's time for Automotive Views with Jamie Butters, executive editor of Automotive News, presented to you by Yazaki, fully connected to vehicle electrification.
The sound of luxury is getting quiet. Tesla, in January, jumped out to an early lead in the luxury sales race in the U.S., and it looks like Elon Musk's EV brand is poised to run away with the luxury title. Maybe a few of them. Tesla doesn't break out U.S. sales, so that leaves...
Going to jump in for just a minute. Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. We can't see you.
Okay.
Let's see if we...
well, I'll start my
There you are.
There you are.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Thanks for the early morning appearance.
Yeah, I'm in Central Time.
Expensive EVs.
Oh, you're in Central Time even. So you've got a coffee IV then this morning.
I do.
That's good.
I'm in North Texas, and it's supposed to be like Michigan today. Some
Really?
Wintry mix, yes.
No kidding. It's funny. Look, it's where people are, where they are and what they're used to in terms of the climate. But North Texas, Dallas, they're not equipped for that.
No.
And so it's funny to us because, they get a dusting of something and everyone's like, oh no. But they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have salt trucks and plows and all that stuff.
No.
So it is. It's a little more frantic down there.
Yeah.
So how you been? Everything good?
Everything's good.
How's business?
Got a big program to talk about, and I'm glad you're interested.
I'm excited. Absolutely.
Technologies Advisor today.
This is a big time investment.
With fast free shipping. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
Every day, countless children, teens, and families in Michigan struggle to address mental, physical, and emotional challenges. Hi, I'm Josh Swaninger, president of Spectrum Human Services and affiliated companies. Since 1976, our team has worked relentlessly to provide care, support, and resources for thousands across the state. We are driven in service to those who need it most, with the belief that dignity and respect are simple human gifts belonging to everyone. But we cannot do it alone. I encourage you to join our mission, make a difference in your community, and actively provide hope in another's life. You'll be surprised by how easy it is and how good it feels to empower someone else. Learn how you can get involved and support Spectrum Human Services by calling us at 734-458-8736. Again, that's 734-458-8736. Or visit us on the web at spectrumhuman.org. Again, that's spectrumhuman.org. Thank you.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business.
And Mike,
print
I just
big
want to make
with
sure
wide
it's
format
DOS,
signs and banners.
correct?
Right now, get $10 off
Yes.
custom
DOS,
printed
okay.
signs, banners, and posters when you spend $50 or more. Offer ends 3/26. Visit staples.com/signage for details. Staples, the working and learning store.
On the Jeffries westbound between Telegraph and Beach Daily Road, earlier accident there is clear. Jeffries westbound at Levan. Wreck is blocking the right two lanes, about a 5-minute delay from Farmington Road. 42-minute backup along 275 northbound right before M14. Accident blocking the right shoulder. Road construction also in the area. Those brake lights from at least Ford Road. New accident 75 northbound at Grange Hall Road. Wreck there blocks the right shoulder. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Barrier Free Plus. Barrier Free Plus is Michigan's best full-service home modification specialist, designing and installing ramps, full bathrooms, and roll-in showers, complete with grab bars, kitchens, stair lifts, and more. During these cold months, don't feel trapped in your home. Visit BarrierFreePlusInc.com, BarrierFreePlusInc.com.
Reinforcing shot of cold air coming in, 37 today with a few flurries, snow showers. Those flurries and snow showers will continue tonight. We drop back to 18 degrees with a northwest breeze. Cold day tomorrow, a few clouds, highs in the upper 20s. We're back in the teens tomorrow night. Sunday, cloudy and a little bit milder, 45, mid-50s by Monday. From a Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stagicom, News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Well, in addition to great vehicles, great cars, they do a lot of good in the communities too. There's no doubt about it. And when you talk about how you can change the future of work in the automotive industry and preparing that next generation, Toyota's got a plan. And to help us talk about it, Mike Goss, the president of the Toyota USA Foundation, joins us this morning on the Paul W. Smith Show. Mike, nice to have you with us.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Good morning.
Good morning to you. This Driving Possibilities initiative, this is not a small investment. This isn't a couple $1,000s, even a couple $1 million. You're talking about $110 million going towards really focusing on students, STEM, and preparing kind of this next generation for the auto industry.
Yeah, listen, we know there are so many great careers out there available to people, including in the STEM fields and including in the auto industry. And we want to be a part of helping educators and communities prepare kids, especially kids who may not have so many opportunities, but prepare these kids for these careers and kind of show them the pathway. So our intention is to invest in making sure there's a good, sound STEM education in place for these kids. But Chris, we recognize too that it can't be just about the education. You have to think holistically about other socioeconomic factors that might be impediments to a good education. Like, does the child in the family have mobility to get to where they want to be? Do they have access to health care? Do they have affordable housing? It's not good if that child shows up at school hungry every day. That's not conducive to learning. So we want to take a complete view of this and take a holistic approach to the problem. I want to say too, we can't do this all by ourselves. So we're going to be looking for partners. We're focusing on doing this in our operational communities in the United States. So that includes our plant sites. That includes the R&D center right there in Michigan, where we've already done so much over the years, but we want to build upon it and see if we can introduce these kids to all these great careers out there. And hopefully we in the auto industry will benefit from that talent pipeline.
You've always been such great community partners to us. It's no surprise to the people of Detroit and Metro Detroit. There's no doubt. But how did this come up? Because you really are taking a much deeper dive into this. It's easy to say, oh, we're going to put some money towards education, get some kids in the classroom, and show them the way of what it's like to work in the auto industry, or at least what you need, and kind of lay the groundwork that way. But this is a much deeper dive into communities, into making sure kids have everything that they need in order to maybe get that job in a STEM field or in the auto industry. How did this idea kind of come about?
Yeah, over the last 7 or 8 years or so, we built a brand new North American headquarters in Plano, Texas, just north of Dallas. And so that allowed sales and marketing and manufacturing to all kind of come together in one place, as well as Toyota Financial Services. And it gave us the opportunity to think differently about the way we engage with society. And we piloted the approach I just described in a very diverse yet very underserved neighborhood called West Dallas. And we partnered with the Dallas Independent School District and Southern Methodist University to develop a pre-K through 8 STEM school. And it took us about 3 years to put it together. We had to put a curriculum together with SMU. We had to train the teachers. School had to be remodeled to be a inviting project-based learning environment. And I'm pleased to say the school opened this past fall. And we've got 300 so far wide-eyed 7th and 8th graders in there just loving their STEM curriculum.
Wow.
I think something unique we did was we added the wraparound services to the school. So there's a food pantry. There's the local Girl Scouts chapter is going to form a Girl Scouts troop that this neighborhood's never had.
Wow.
And now the school system has decided to turn the school into a true community center. So they're going to add medical services and other services to make sure these kids and families get what they need immediately, right? So that's kind of a pilot for the broader driving possibilities work. We've done a lot of other things in the community. We noticed people were walking, or in some cases even in their wheelchairs, trying to get to the Dallas area rapid transit train stations and bus stations so they could go to work or they could go access the health care they needed. So we partnered with an organization and put an electric shuttle service in place. It's a first mile, last mile deal. It'll pick you up in front of your house, take you to the DART stations. It'll also take you to the grocery store or the doctor or other places you want. It costs the rider nothing because it's paid for with the advertising on the shuttle. And it's 100% occupied every day.
Wow.
It just shows you the need.
There's a
in
need,
these
and you filled it.
communities.
Yeah. Well, a lot of this money, or at least a portion of the money, is going to go to Michigan. We'll see some of this happening here, which is incredibly exciting.
Absolutely.
Look, the Toyota USA Foundation, Toyota, you guys are like brothers and sisters. You're all part of the same family.
Yeah.
But how important is it in order to accomplish some of these goals that you have at the foundation, or to maybe set out the mission that you do, the ambitious mission that you do? How important is it for Toyota to be on board with something like this and really understand that they're helping people, filling a need?
Yeah, well, we've always felt like we want to be extreme partners with our communities and the states in which we're located, because these communities and states have done so much for us. So it's more than just about providing good jobs and good steady jobs, as we've done for now decades in Kentucky and Indiana, for example. It's about strengthening the community in other ways. And in the case of Driving Possibilities, there's kind of this notion of shared value that what can be done for the community that's good for the community can also be good for the companies and the industries in those areas, right? People want to have good careers and good jobs, and we've got the jobs. So we can work together on this.
Look, this is a huge investment. Is it safe to say that more could be coming at some point?
At some point, our board of directors in Japan said, Mike, prove it out and let's talk again. So that's what I'm going to do.
Mike Goss, we have all the faith in you in the world. Thank you for your time as always. It's nice seeing you, and best of luck. Keep us up to date on how this goes.
We sure will. Thank you, Chris. Have a great day.
Yep, you do the same. There he is, Mike Goss, president of the Toyota USA Foundation. More on the Paul W. Smith Show next.
Need an EV battery enclosure that stops thermal runaway? We can do that. Or a pickup box that's practically puncture-proof? We can do that. Or maybe you need a modular vehicle roof system that's both lightweight and highly functional? We can do that too. We are Taisian Automotive Technologies, and we make mobility safer and more eco-friendly. Taisian Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. Learn more at TaisianAutomotive.com.
Attention investors. How would you like to collect a government-backed check with secure double-digit returns in as little as 21 days? The Tax Lien Code is going to expose the best-kept secret in real estate investing in a free 20-minute Kickstart video. Text the word EARN to 26022 now and let their free video show you how to earn government-backed returns up to 25% with as little as $50, or how to invest in tax-delinquent homes that are 50% off market value. Plus, see how you can access private tax lien inventory not available to the public. So if you want to become a real estate investor that buys tax liens from the comfort of your own home, then text EARN to 26022 now to get your free Kickback Start video. Text EARN to 26022 right now, and you'll get free tickets to attend a live training in the Detroit area that will include your VIP tax lien bidder number, a power bank charger, and a tax lien investor kit, free to all attendees. So text EARN to 26022. That's EARN to 26022 for your free Kickstart video now. Individual results may vary. There's no guarantee that past performance will be indicative of future results. Invest wisely. Sponsored by the Tax Lien Code. The Detroit Spring Home and Garden Show is March 19th and 20th at Huntington Place, formerly Cobo Center. Meet hundreds of home improvement professionals under one roof and save big with show-only discounts. Come and see HGTV's Nicole Curtis Saturday and the co-hosts of HGTV's Bargain Block, Keith Bynum and Evan Thomas, Saturday and Sunday. Enjoy a variety of home improvement demonstrations. Shop dozens of local artisans for beautiful home furnishings. Tickets are just $10. Children 12 and under enter free. Visit yourhomeshows.com for details.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station.
It's outright terrorism. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Ukraine's president calls Russia's attacks, telling its soldiers,
you can still save yourselves if you just go home.
Volodymyr Zelensky vowing they face either death or prison.
Cities around the country continue to be surrounded and bombed.
One big target for the Russians in a Ukrainian air base as a long convoy near the capital starts to move.
Armored units from that convoy are now seen maneuvering in and through the surrounding towns close to the airport. Elements of the convoy further north have repositioned and are redeployed in forests along tree lines with towed artillery howitzers in firing positions nearby.
That's Fox's Benjamin Hall in Kyiv. The Senate last night followed the House approving another $14 billion in aid to Ukraine and a massive spending bill to fund our government. The conflict keeps raising gas prices. Regulars up another penny today. AAA's national average now a record $4.33 per gallon. Diesel's up 8 cents to a new all-time high $5.13. And while President Biden blames Russia, Republicans say his green energy policies are to blame for pre-invasion gas price hikes. But he told a Democratic National Committee event,
"We are increasing oil production with a record productivity. By the end of the year, we will have produced more oil than any time in the last number of years."
It's 2 years to the day now since COVID was declared a pandemic. President Trump told us that night,
"We will ultimately and expeditiously defeat this virus."
COVID is now blamed for 6 million deaths out of 453 million cases worldwide. And while infections fall here and the CDC says most of us can be unmasked, the government will keep requiring mask wearing on planes and trains till April 18th. They're getting ready to play ball.
I am genuinely thrilled to be able to say that Major League Baseball's back and we're going to play 162 games.
Major League Commissioner Rob Manfred, after owners and players agreed to a new contract, spring training starts this weekend. Opening day will be April 7th. America listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Blindster. Do you need new blinds or shades? Blindster.com offers custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. Don't overpay for new blinds. Shop Blindster today and save big. Blindster.com.
Accident in Livonia along the Jeffries 96 westbound at Levan. That collision is clear. Also 75 northbound after Grange Hall Road. That accident clear. New crash along US 23 northbound before Silver Lake Road. Accident in Livingston County just reported. Also a new accident 96 westbound after Wixom Road. Blocks a left lane. 696 Ruther westbound after Greenfield. Accident just reported. 275 northbound before M14. That accident there just clear. Seeing about a 30-minute delay from Ford Road. US 23 northbound after M14. Accident blocking your left 2 lanes. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. Could see some more snow flurries this morning. Cloudy skies this afternoon, a high of 36 tonight. Clouds, few flurries overnight, low 17. It's going to be quite cold on Saturday. Some sun
Mark,
in the morning.
what are my
increasing clouds
my
in the
thoughts on
afternoon.
Michigan?
Could see a few flurries,
in
a high of
tournament
26.
that
and
was
then
one
a
of
bit
the
of a warm
most
up back to
incredibly
Sunday. Cloudy skies, snow
one of the
showers
most
in the morning, a
incredible
high of
displays
46.
of a
Cloudy skies, snow
of
flurries,
a,
27 degrees.
you know,
I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather
it wasn't
First.
even a tank. It was like
estate planning legal services.
the Titanic taking on water. I've just never seen a collapse
We never truly know what
I mean,
tomorrow will bring.
17
So estate
point
planning
halftime
is the
lead.
simplest way to guarantee your
You just
assets
can't
and
lose that
property
game.
will
I
be
mean, they look
distributed according to
terrible
your
coming out
wishes.
of the half.
An accident, a serious medical issue,
no, it
or an
wasn't
emergency
good.
can occur
It wasn't good.
unfortunately
And
at
the
any time.
Spartans,
So that's why all
thankfully, they
WJR
got it
listeners
together,
need to talk
but
to
they
estate
almost
planning
blew it
legal
too.
services. When the
But
unexpected
they got the win
happens, your
against
heirs will
Maryland.
receive your
So,
assets on
that
the
good
terms
news
and
there,
conditions
but
you want
boy,
and remove any
yeah,
uncertainty that
you
could
can't
cause
blow a
time,
17
privacy,
point
control,
halftime
and
lead.
money.
You just can't do it.
EPLS prepares
Just can't
comprehensive
do it.
planning packages to manage and protect your family. Receive your free complimentary estate planning kit and set your appointment now with locally based estate planning legal services. Call 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. That's 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. Plan for tomorrow today. Estate Planning Legal Services.
Novo Platform Inc. is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services provided by Middlesex Federal Savings, FA. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
You're making something new with your business. To support you, Novo built a new kind of business checking. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, Novo is customized to your business to save you time and free up cash flow. Sign up for your free business checking account right now. Plus, our listeners get access to over $5,000 in perks and discounts at novo.co/today. NOVO.co/today.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us, no matter how big or small your business is. Earn back when you spend, get exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help level up your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum purchase required. Earnings and paint rewards awarded as Lowe's e-gift cards. Exclusions, restrictions, and more terms apply. Valid through 12/31/22. See Lowe's.com/L/Pro Loyalty Terms. Subject to change. U.S. only.
It's the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Now filling in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Good morning to you. Nice to have you with us. Somebody on StreamYard, if you want to follow along and participate in the show that way, WJR's Facebook page, YouTube, or Twitter, you can find us. We're doing the show live from there as well. Somebody asked in there my thoughts about Michigan in the first round of the Big Ten tournament yesterday. They're not good. And I've never seen anything like that yesterday.
That was kind of a wow, wasn't it?
I've never seen. I can only equate it to the Titanic taking on water. Like it was like, what's going on?
there?
All of us, we're having a nice time. We're on deck. We're having a nice candlelit dinner. And the next thing I know, I'm in the freezing water. What happened? 17-point halftime lead, and then that's what happens. It was Juwan Howard's first game back from his suspension.
How about my Spartans?
I'll tell you, I was worried, and I was
the green
worried.
and white.
I was worried. They were tracking the same way as their friends down in Ann Arbor. But
that second half was extremely stressful. I could hardly sit down.
Yeah.
I mean, thank God, 76-72. They
I tell you, this is what makes March great. What makes March great? It's just.
So, what do you think about tonight, though? The Wisconsin-Michigan State game. How are we going to do?
It's tough. Wisconsin's a solid team. I mean, they're a good team. And they're playing really good basketball right now. Michigan State's up and down, right? Like, they are better than Maryland. They just are. But
they're better than Wisconsin when they play really well.
I know, but the problem is Michigan State, the playing well is much more sporadic. Like they kind of play down to their opponent a lot. And this has been a weird year for the Spartans basketball program. So do I think that they can hang with Wisconsin? Of course they can. Absolutely.
I think they're going to beat them.
Do you?
It's definitely been a roller coaster ride this year, but I predict a win. Absolutely.
All right. I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have Tom Izzo on later in the show as well.
And our broadcast time is 5:30.
5:30.
6:30, but yes,
okay.
The game starts at 6:30, but we'll have the hour pregame.
In the meantime, everything that has happened over the last couple of weeks, inflation has been on the rise. We were already at almost record levels we haven't seen in 40 years before Ukraine. Gas prices were on the rise as well. At the State of the Union mark, so what was that, last week or week before?
March 1st.
The president did get a small uptick in his approval ratings after the speech, a very small one. He wasn't back into the black yet, but he gained a little steam after the State of the Union, which isn't totally surprising. To hear a president come out and talk about the things that they've done well isn't, it shouldn't hurt you. But with all of that being said, a new Wall Street Journal poll has found that Biden and Democrats continue to lose ground on key issues. Certainly, when you look at the response to Ukraine, people have been look at that as a knock against the president. And obviously, inflation continues to be an issue. Gas continues to be an issue as well. I'm interested to get your thoughts on this, Anne Marie, and certainly the listeners as well. If you want to get in on the mix, 800-859-0957. Do you think that these numbers are warranted? I mean, you're talking about a 57% unapproval rating in a time when things aren't so rosy, and you've got an administration unwilling to take necessary steps to bring gas prices down. Withdrawing 60 million barrels from the reserve, it just isn't going to cut it. So do you think it's the Democrats should be worried as we are now in the midterm election cycle? Do you think that they're feeling a little heat based on what's going on and some of the numbers that they're seeing?
Marie, what do you think about that?
I definitely think that the Democrats are worried. I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, these approval ratings are very poor. And it just seems it's been one thing after another. When first it was the pandemic and all the residual things that were left over from that, and the president trying to deal with that, and the public not being pleased with that. And then now, of course, these gas prices. That is the one thing that affects every single one of us at every level of our lives. So there's definitely some concerns for the Democrats. And I think behind the scenes, they're really working on this.
I agree with Marie. Chris, as the economy goes, the election goes. People really care about gas prices and inflation. This is a big problem.
I guess, we saw what happened in those special elections last year in New Jersey and in Virginia, and the momentum that the Republicans had in really kind of stifling the Democrats. There was already momentum there going forward around the country. But I think it's interesting that when you look at some of the folks that are up for re-election, namely here in our state, Governor Gretchen Whitmer talks about reaching out to Congress in conjunction with 5 or 6 other Democrat governors from across the country, talking about eliminating, or at least suspending the federal gas tax, because that would be a way to knock at least 18 or so cents off the price of a gallon of gas. Is that going to be enough? No. You're saving a little over $2.50 a gallon, or excuse me, $2.50 a tank every time you fill up. It's not meaningful, but it's something. It is something. But I just feel like there are stances being taken by Democrats that I don't think that they would normally take. As somebody who campaigned on fixing the damn roads, eliminating one of the ways that you fix those damn roads is an interesting game plan going forward. But they are, I think, seeing that there is some contention around the country, with voters here in the state of Michigan, about who you align with and some of the ideologies that are put out there. Because I think the Democrats were in trouble before, but if people continue to have this outlook on the Democrats and their plans, not doing anything to bring gas prices down. You got Janet Yellen coming out today saying, expect another year of uncomfortably high inflation numbers. That's in direct contrast to Jen Psaki, the press secretary, said yesterday at the White House. So even within the administration, there is some disagreements, I guess. So we'll see how this continues to play out. It's the Road Show this morning on WJR with Paul W. Smith. Chris Renwick this morning in for Paul. More next on WJR.
Switch to a healthcare plan awarded 5 out of 5 stars for quality and service.
Chris, out of
a
this,
plan
give me
from
that
United
billboard
Healthcare.
for
Get
the
benefits
business
like
beat.
vision, dental care, and
And that
more.
should be
Call
it for
United
you for
Healthcare
us.
today at 1-800-SHOP-UHC.
Got it.
Benefits, features, or devices vary by plan and area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system. Medicare Advantage plan star rating applies to contract numbers H0294, H2001, H2226, H3794, H4590, H5253, and H5420 that are rated 5 out of 5 stars for 2022.
7:14 this morning on the Paul W. Smith Show. Now, time for WJR's Business Beat with Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of Startup Nation, here to spotlight the entrepreneurial tech and startup community here on WJR.
Good morning. During the pandemic, online shopping really came into the mainstream as a primary way people shop and make their purchases. The convenience.
Good morning, Kristen.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. We can't see you, though.
Do you want me to put the camera on?
If you're comfortable with that.
So I did just come in on the red eye, so no judgments.
There you are.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Thanks for taking some time with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
You took the red eye in from where?
I was in Arizona.
Oh, okay.
We were doing some drive testing yesterday at the proving grounds. So.
Oh, cool. What were you testing?
We were doing some seat testing. So off-road
cool.
seat testing. Yep.
Oh, very cool. Well, maybe we could talk about that a little bit too.
Oh, now come on. I can't tell you about anything cool and upcoming. I have to keep that kind of. Anyway, yeah. So we can talk about drive testing. But
I would be interested to know just kind of what that looks like.
Sure. Yeah, we have a big course out there, and we do a lot of testing. Sure, happy to talk a little bit about.
No, I'm not asking you for trade secrets. I know better than that. I know
payments to their credit cards. In other words, using one form of debt to pay for another. And of course, while the BNPL option may offer low or most of the time no interest on purchases,
is it
those
Tabar?
consumers who are making their
Tabar.
BNPL payments using credit cards may fall into a circumstance of paying as much as 20% interest. So if you're a consumer and think BNPL is a way to buy now and worry about it later, you should know that's just not so. You'll be held to the obligation of making timely payments, or you'll suffer credit hits and perhaps even worse. And if you're a retailer and want to offer this feature, well, you should offer it. But be aware of the ever-changing landscape that tighter regulations will have and which are likely coming soon. I'm Jeff Sloan, founder and CEO of StartupNation.com, and that's today's Business Beat on the great voice of the Great Lakes, WJR.
Well, it's that time of year again when the garage floor gets dirt and
it's funny,
grime
too.
building up. And a lot of us see the concrete crack or shift.
I kind of
My
thought
friends
that
at
the
Motor
red
City
eyes,
Floors and
I
Coatings
feel
have
like they
shown
went
me
away for
They
a
can
while.
repair that damaged garage
And now
or
I think
basement
they're back
concrete
a little
floor,
bit.
making it usable again
Oh yeah,
with their
I don't know. I
innovative
feel like
one-day
I
concrete
usually
coating
do
system.
take the red
You know, a
eyes
lot of
just
us
because
wanna
it's kind of
make that
efficient
change
from
to
a
that
schedule
nasty
point of
concrete
view.
floor,
But every
don't
time I
have the
do it, I
time for
think,
the
oh,
lengthy,
why am I
never-ending
doing this?
renovation.
It's a
The
tough
great
flight.
thing again
It's
about
only like
Motor City
3
Floors and
hours, so
Coatings
you don't
is
really
they're
get
in
enough
and out,
sleep.
usually in a day.
Right.
Motor City Floors and Coatings concrete coating system, 4 times stronger than epoxy, slip resistant, easy to clean and maintain, and can be applied in all types of weather. That's why so many homeowners and business owners love
you
it.
fly a lot,
To make that
probably. How has
damaged
that been
concrete
during COVID?
usable, call Motor City Floors and
Much
Coatings.
less than before COVID.
Oh, really?
But
5888.
yeah, I
That's
mean, we still have a lot of essential work we
248-613-5888.
got to get done, and a lot of things
Or
like
visit
yesterday or issues that come up at
motorcityfloorsandcoatings.com.
manufacturing.
Powered
So
by
we do.
Mr. Coatings.
We
Listen to a
absolutely
special
do.
extended
But
hour of the
it's
Inside Outside
definitely
Guys with a
less.
special
But
guest,
it's
Jeff
coming back.
Weaver from Clarkston Window and Door.
Yeah,
This
some
Saturday
sort
at
of
12
normal's
p.m.
good.
on 760
Right.
WJR. The Paul W. Smith Show's weekly dealer download is powered by Bill Brown Ford.
After American automaker Ford announced it was halting its joint venture operations in Russia, President and CEO Jim Farley said Wednesday the company is going all in the USA. We bet on the United States, Ford told Fox Business's Stuart Barney. We have a lower percentage of our production in Canada and Mexico than any one of our competitors.
Will anybody
but we
be
build
able?
more and we
I guess
export
if
more
you're
from the
online,
United
they'll be able to
States.
see me.
In a statement released Tuesday,
Yes.
Ford said it's deeply
Okay.
concerned
Are you
by the
sure?
Russian
Do I need-
invasion of
you want me to
Ukraine,
keep the
forcing
camera
the
on?
company to reassess
If you
its
want to
relationship
take
with
it off,
Russia. The
absolutely, you
suspension
can take
was
it off.
effective immediately.
All right, I'm gonna
Ford
I'm
Motor
gonna
Company
take it
has
off.
a strong
That's fine.
contingent of
Yeah,
Ukrainian
sure, no
nationals
problem.
working at Ford around the world, and they will continue to support them through this time. Bill Brown Ford. Stop by and see us or visit us online. Bill Brown Ford, the fastest way to get your new Ford in 2022.
For more details, call 734-399-4244 or visit BillBrownFord.com.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
Watching a couple of closures out there right now. 96 eastbound between Williamson Road and Stockbridge closed due to a crash there. Avoid the area. Also along US 23 northbound between M14 and North Territorial. A multi-vehicle accident has that area closed. Jeffries, 96 westbound at Telegraph. Wreck is blocking the right lane, also blocking that exit ramp. A delay from Outer Drive. 696 eastbound before Greenfield. Accident is blocking the right shoulder. 96 westbound after Wixom Road. Accident blocks the left lane. 75 northbound after Baldwin Road. New accident blocking the right shoulder. 696 westbound after Greenfield. Accident there is clear, as well as a collision along US 23 northbound before Silver Lake. That is clear. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Is your business limited on storage space? Shelving.com recommends looking vertically, offering products like durable unirack pallet racking up to 26 feet high, or double your floor space without expensive renovations using prefabricated modular mezzanines. Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Clouds are here and a reinforcing shot of cold air coming in for at least the beginning of the weekend. Overcast this morning, a few flurry snow showers around, maybe a flurry snow shower this afternoon, high 37. Tonight, some clouds down to 18. Suburbs even chillier with a northwest breeze. So a cold start to Saturday, some clouds and sun through the day, upper 20s, teens at night. Sunday, cloudy, milder into the mid-40s. Monday, we could get into the mid-50s. From a Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stagicom, News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith, presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again, substituting for Paul W. Smith, here's Chris Renwick.
Welcome back. Glad to be hanging out with our good friends over at Toyota. And Kristen Tabar, who's the Group Vice President of Vehicle Development and Engineering at Toyota Motor North America, is fresh off a red eye. Joins us this morning here on the Paul W. Smith Show. Kristen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Chris. Thanks for having me.
You were out in Arizona, I understand it, doing some vehicle testing. What were you doing out there?
Yeah, we were. We've got a pretty large proving ground out there. Actually, we've got several different types of surfaces, oval track, off-road, various ways to test the vehicle and really, just try to confirm how customers are going to be using our products. So I was out there doing some of that testing the last couple days, and it's always good to actually be able to do that type of work. So.
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of there's probably a lot more technology at your disposal in terms of testing. You can probably test a ton of different things in different scenarios and different elements. I would imagine electronically, but there's a different feel to testing when you're out in the elements on an actual road. You probably get a more kind of real world feedback. I would guess.
You're absolutely right. As technology does expand and, grow, we are able to do a lot of things through simulation, and that certainly helps us bring things to market that much quicker. And it certainly allows us to do a lot of different scenarios that maybe are complicated or difficult to replicate on a real road condition. That gives us a lot of opportunity. However, in the end, it's about how customers actually use the products, right? And that's in a driving condition. So we definitely need to make sure that we're taking into account that scenario and really experiencing it ourselves, which is part of the great thing about Toyota. We really stress that no matter how much innovation or new things we try to introduce, we really want to keep it to that customer perspective and try to make sure we're experiencing it like they will experience it, and really taking that into account as we set up the specifications or how the functions will perform.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're the paying customer, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
Whatever they want, you guys make available to them, and I think that's fantastic. Toyota isn't just a car company; they don't just make vehicles, but this is a full mobility company. What are you doing in terms of planning and in the execution process of rolling out some of these things to the public?
Great question. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it's not just Toyota. I think the industry in general is shifting towards mobility, really trying to take advantage again of some of that technology that you mentioned, and think about how we can utilize the products that we make today, but kind of progress them or change them into different services, different ways to use the products, and really expand the opportunity for mobility across a much broader customer base. It's really thinking a little bit differently and understanding, again, going back to how does that customer want to use the product? what kind of things are they interested in seeing and using, and how can we make their experience in the vehicles not only more exciting and interesting, but also just more useful and convenient for them. So, things like being able to consider mobility as a service. It's really around those. You may have heard the acronym CASE. So it's that connected, autonomous, shared, and electrified. All types of technology in those spaces are coming into our product portfolios at Toyota. And, we're just so excited about being able to offer these different things to the customer and, again, interact with them in that different way.
We talked to Mike Goss over with the Toyota USA Foundation earlier. Talked about the Driving Possibilities Initiative, committing $110 million towards education, STEM activities for students around the country, and retention of the workforce is huge, but also cultivating that next generation, because not only are they going to have to deal with kind of the inner workings and inner knowledge of what the auto industry looks like, but you're dealing with a highly technological space as well. So you're competing with Silicon Valley, you're competing with other maybe industries that you weren't in the past, but now you are. So how important is it for you at Toyota to kind of cultivate and then try to keep as much of that talent as possible?
You're exactly right. And with some of that new technology or that transition into mobility, it really allows us to look at the workforce in a different way. It's not, your traditional set of candidates that you might be looking at. For example, when I started in the industry, today we're looking at a lot of different spaces, but we do need to have members, students especially, to think about automotive and look at us as a place for a career. People coming from computer science or even from the, kind of human physiology and all different aspects of technology that we need various people with various backgrounds. And as you said, it's really important, which is why I'm so proud of that activity that you mentioned from Mike's discussion earlier about how to cultivate students and really expose them to the opportunities that the automotive industry has to offer. Really explain to them the excitement about these new technologies coming online and really encourage them to give us a look and really try out their expertise and knowledge in this space and really grow with us. And again, be able to give back to the customer. That's what's most important.
I got about 45 seconds left. What are some of the exciting things coming down the pipe here for Toyota?
We've got so many things. We've really are focusing, at least our teams here in Michigan, on the electrification of a lot of our products. You've heard a lot about that in the news and, how we're as a country shifting to electrified vehicles. So of course, that's a huge opportunity for us to really create new use cases for our customers and be able to offer not only that kind of clean energy, alternative options from powertrain, but also different services and all kinds of things. So it's a really exciting time for us. We can't wait to see how our customers react to all these great new products and services.
Kristen Tabar, thanks for the time.
Thanks so much, Chris.
Financial Engines today at 3 p.m. or 8 p.m.
Thank
Eastern
you, Kristen.
for our brand new
Hey,
virtual
you bet.
event.
Anytime.
6 tax
Thank you
smart
so
investing
much. It was great to talk to you.
We'll show you why
Okay.
tax-efficient investing makes a big difference.
You too. Bye-bye.
And how to make it part of your overall wealth management plan. Register now at planefe.com. That's planefe.com to learn about tax drag and how you can help overcome it. See how
Maria,
tax
good
loss
morning to you.
harvesting
Nice
can
to
help
see
you
ya.
offset
Thanks
capital
for tuning
gains.
in.
And
Hey, Lloyd.
Oh, hey.
What's going on?
How's it
How you
going?
doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, we're not on yet. I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No, I
I've
was
been there.
no, I knew we wasn't on, but I was like, is he talking to me? I'm like,
I just wanted to talk to my friend Lloyd. That's all.
That's okay. I'm here.
How you doing? Everything good?
I sent you a lead. So you should,
I'm glad you told me.
because actually, first I sent it to Paul and I forgot. Oh, Paul's not there. It's Chris. So I forwarded it to Chris. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I have a minivan.
Okay.
But it's a cool minivan. Like, it's cool. Don't judge me. Um,
I had one too, man. I had 3 kids, man, and we had
yeah,
the minivan, you know. So.
yeah. But it cost me like $75 to fill up my tank the other
I believe
day.
it.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, man. It is crazy. You know, and I have a membership at BJ, and so I would go to BJ. BJ's is not far from my house, so I would go and fill up. BJ's, gas prices were pretty low. I checked this morning; they're $4, and it was 3. I mean, every day it went up. It went from like $3.55 to $3.69 to $3.83 to $3.93, and this morning is $4.
Guys, I'm going to jump in just for a second here. I want to test Mr. Levin's mic. Good morning, Mr. Levin. Can you hear us? Good morning, sir. I'm going to keep talking here. Are you able to hear us?
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Very good. Very good. Can you talk for me just a little bit? Oh, there you got headphones. Very nice.
Yes.
Can you talk just a little bit for me? Let's make sure we have a decent level from you.
How's it sound to you now? Is it okay?
Can you tap on it? Tap on the microphone like this.
Microphone's tiny. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is.
There it is. Yeah, I don't think you're on that particular device. I think you're using the... Can you hear us through those headphones?
I can hear you fine through the headphones.
Chris, how does he sound to you?
He sounds okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he sounds okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that should work.
You want me to turn up my volume a little bit?
There we go.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put the station back here.
Hey, and just say your first name for me. Daron. Okay, good.
Yeah.
How you been? Everything good?
Yes, I've been fine. How about you, Chris?
I'm good. I'm excited to talk with you. I've admired your work for a long time.
It's out there. Slow down. Take your time. Light dusting of snow in most areas and wet roadways causing for a tricky commute this Friday morning. 96 eastbound between Williamston and Stockbridge Road. Still closed there due to a multi-vehicle crash. Jeffries 96 westbound at Telegraph, accident blocking the right lane, and also the off-ramp is blocked there. Let's head over to US 23 northbound after M14, accident blocking your left 2 lanes. Jeffries 96 westbound at Telegraph, accident blocking the right lane. Also, that exit ramp is blocked. You are delayed from at least Outer Drive. 75 southbound after the Davison new accident blocks the left lane slow from McNichols. In Sterling Heights, 19 mile eastbound at Ryan Road, accident reported there. 696 eastbound before Greenfield, wreck is blocking the right shoulder. 75 northbound after Baldwin, the right shoulder is blocked due to a crash there. 96 eastbound after Pinckney Road, accident blocks the right lane. Also 96 east westbound after a Wixom Road, accident blocking the left lane there. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Better Health Markets. Better Health Markets, your locally owned source for better organic foods and supplements at better prices for a better you. 14 Michigan locations, or shop betterhealthmarket.com today. These snow showers should be wrapping up by 8 a.m. this morning. Could see an additional inch. Today, mainly cloudy. After that, a high of 36 tonight, cloudy, overnight low 17. Currently 27 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
I'm Chuck Bridenstine, the inside guy. And I'm Ken Coverly, the outside guy. We're here with WJR's Ken Rogalski to talk about CertaPro painters. Ken, tell us about CertaPro painters. What kind of work are they doing for you?
Thanks, Chuck. We already bought a complete CertaPro exterior paint job on our house, and we were thrilled, especially Mrs. Rogalski. Our 15-year-old home looks brand new again. They painted my home.
Sorry, Lloyd is next.
Their home. We're so happy that
Lloyd is next. Lloyd 735, Daron at 749.
That's great. It really is the perfect time to transform your walls with a fresh new color. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. They are right here in our community. Exterior or interior, for your home or business, CertaPro painters can take care of it all. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Painters you can trust.
Why do more Americans buy term life insurance through SelectQuote than any other term life sales agency? Because SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. We found Tanya a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $12 a month. And her husband, Steve, who has high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only
Lloyd,
$19
Mark
a
Gardner
month.
says, "Hi, Lloyd.
How do we
Great
do it?
seeing you. I
At
love your
Select Quote,
reporting."
we aggressively
Oh,
comparison shop highly rated insurance
Mark is a
companies to
great
find you
listener.
your best rates. Whether you need a $500,000 policy
Maria,
or a
too.
$5 million
Everybody
policy,
here does.
Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
Select Quote, America's #1 term life insurance sales agency. We shop, you save. For your free
Mark,
quote,
how
call
much was
Select
that
Quote
check Lloyd
at
sent you?
1-800-913-1199. That's
Mark,
1-800-913-1199. Or go to selectquote.com. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith, presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Good to have you with us. I don't drive. My wife drives a minivan. Yeah, don't judge. It's no big deal. 2 kids, the whole thing. And we went to fill up the other day, and it was $75. I mean, that is wild. It's usually, I think, if anywhere between like 55 and 60 is usually where we get out. But $75 it cost us the other day to fill up. It was outrageous. And we are seeing gas prices rise all around the state, certainly all around the country, and they're impacting local workers, small business owners. WJR senior news analyst Lloyd Jackson spoke to a manager of a flower shop whose business is getting poked from this. Good morning, Lloyd.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, as the average cost of a regular gallon of gas hit an all-time high this week, businesses where deliveries play a big part on their bottom lines are being affected. I spoke with Lisa Castile. She's manager of the Thrifty Florist on Woodward and 11 Mile in Huntington Woods, who says she's seeing some slowdowns as a result of the high gas prices.
Well, it's definitely slowed down our cash and carry business. The incidental bouquets of just because and hope you're doing better, those have kind of dwindled over the last couple of weeks, but severely this week with the increase in gas. I don't see as many people, just stopping in.
Castile says gas prices have affected the delivery of flowers as well.
Delivery has gone up in price, and that was prior to Valentine's Day. And with the gas prices going up even further, a lot of the occasions for sympathy, funeral work, customers are coming in and picking it up and taking it there themselves.
Castile says it's even harder to find delivery drivers because of gas prices.
More and more, it's hard to find the gig workers that are doing delivery to pick up those orders, just with the price of gas between what they make for delivering and what they're putting in their gas tanks. It's a tough business right now to find folks that are going to do that for you.
Castile says the price of flowers were up already due to shipping and issues getting product in stock. Now with the gas prices spiking, she sees flower prices increasing more in the near future. Chris?
She said something interesting there that stuck out to me, that these problems existed even before Valentine's Day. Which would have been pre-invasion of Ukraine, which is where we're seeing. I mean, we've seen a huge spike because of that. But prices, we know they had already been climbing. It was already more difficult, and with that, all of those price increases, who does that get passed to? Passed to us, passed to the customers, and so it is really it's interesting to hear that this had been kind of happening even earlier than I would have thought. But then also the inability to maybe find people to drive their trucks to deliver the flowers. That's interesting.
Because when you're out there driving and you're delivering, and then you have to, the money that you make, your tips and whatever you're getting paid, but that's all going into the gas tank now because you have to fill up, that $75 that you spent. These guys are spending that kind of money filling up their tank. And also, she said something, too, that was interesting about people coming in and getting the flowers and delivering them themselves. So they're funeral flowers or whatever. Like, they come in and they just get them themselves and deliver it themselves to the funeral parlor as opposed to having a delivery service.
The other part. The other part that I find interesting too is that it's difficult getting the flowers. We're seeing issues. We've seen issues in the supply chain,
Yes.
and now you've got little mom and pop kind of flower shops that are running into issues too.
Yeah, and which is going to cause the flowers to go up, those roses, those tulips that you want, and then she says just she was used to seeing people who were just coming into the store just because, just because bouquets or, get well soon or those kind of things. She doesn't see as many of those coming in kind of, haphazardly like they were because, these gas prices, she's not getting that business coming in.
Yeah, if you made an oopsie and you got to say you're sorry, maybe you're just texting the person now. Like, I'm really sorry. I would normally get you flowers, but I can't. I can't. Oh, that's crazy.
I'll just text you a nice bouquet. Yeah.
A picture of flowers.
There you go.
But then the other part in all of this too is, these small businesses in particular, who really was impacted most during the pandemic? Them.
Yes.
It was those people, right? There weren't a lot of people buying flowers during the pandemic.
No.
So they're already coming off a really challenging time. And then where things are starting to get back to normal, really in mass, where mass mandates are being dropped. All of these restrictions are kind of loosening around the country. And now we're in this state of incredibly high inflation, which is only expected to get higher if you listen to Janet Yellen. And then you've got the situation where gas prices continue to elevate, and it's the little guys that are getting hurt, not just the consumers. It's the people who stuck their neck out and opened a business and opened a little flower shop to be that, to fill that void in the community, and now it's difficult to even sell the product.
It's a 1-2 punch, Chris. It really is. And with the pandemic and now the gas prices, it's a 1-2 punch. And you try to you get behind because of the pandemic, things loosen, as you say. You try to get ahead, and now you get hit with this.
Did she talk about what that impact is like for them?
She did not. Other than the fact that she's just seeing less traffic in the store. Less just because traffic in the store, and the delivery issues, trying to get, because a lot of these delivery people are what they call gig workers. It's just a gig, a side gig for them, and it's hard to get them.
They're not like full-blown employees.
Exactly. They're gig workers, and so they, it's hard to find someone to do it because they got to put all the money that they make into the gas tank. So
well, it very well could not be worth it, and now they have to get into a situation where they got to make the decision, right? Do I even put the miles on my car, the wear and tear on the vehicle, to deliver these flowers? Where I'm essentially going to probably break even, right? I'm going to have to, whatever money I make from tips and whatever goes right into the gas tank. It's a good point. WJR senior news analyst Lloyd Jackson, thank you for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chris.
Coming up next on the Paul W. Smith Show, as we continue this Friday morning, on the WJR Road Show, talking to our friends over at Toyota. Lots to talk about, especially in the electrification segment and what that means for Toyota. Some companies have kind of pushed their chips all in and said, here we go, we're ready. We're going to be all EVs by X date. Toyota's taking a bit of a different approach. I would say more measured. We're going to talk to Duran Levin, who is a wonderful auto journalist stationed here in Detroit. We'll do that next on the Paul W. Smith Show. Get his insights about Toyota as we continue on the Road Show here on WJR this Friday morning.
Teijin Automotive Technologies is the global leader in composite solutions for the worldwide mobility industry. Our unique ability to combine engineering and chemistry result in innovations that make vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly. With a global network of materials, design, and manufacturing expertise spanning 3 continents, Teijin Automotive Technologies is the formula for better mobility. Learn more at teijinautomotive.com.
Many claim to have world-class golf.
but just ask Nicholas Trevino and couples. Play 81 holes on spectacular terrain with dramatic views, contours, and rolling hills as far as you can see. When you get to the horizon, you'll know exactly why it's called Treetops. Play where the major champions have played. Treetops Resort. 5 courses designed by the game's renowned designers, Robert Trent Jones Sr., Tom Fazio, Rick Smith. And don't miss playing North America's #1 par 3 course, Three Tops, arguably the best collection of golf courses in the Midwest and beyond. Treetops Resort, Michigan's most spectacular resort. To make your golf getaway reservations and tee times, visit treetops.com.
Jerome, can you hear me?
Treetops.com.
I can hear you.
Hey.
Or call 1.
How's it going? Everything going well for you?
Yes, let me just tell
Michigan's
you the
most
pronunciation of my name
spectacular
is
resort.
Jerome
Why do
Levin.
more Americans buy
Levin.
term life insurance through Select Quote than any other term life sales agency? Because Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. We found Tanya a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $12 a month. And her husband Steve, who has high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. How do we do it? At Select Quote, we aggressively comparison shop highly rated insurance companies to find you your best rates. Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
Select Quote,
All right, I'll
America's
tell you
#1
what.
term life insurance sales agency.
I'm going to just mute it for a second.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
Because I'm interested. Did you think that we would see this EV push at this point?
It's been coming for a while. I
Yeah.
have some questions as to how quickly it can actually unroll because
Yeah.
people can't afford these vehicles, and the world runs really on fossil fuels still. So batteries are important, but they're not the be-all and end-all of transportation yet.
Yeah, I feel that's exactly how I feel. And especially when, what do people want? People want bigger cars, right? They want even as the midsize SUV and up. So especially when you're looking at EVs of that size, they're incredibly unaffordable.
Well, and people want bigger cars. They want longer range. They want everything. And
right.
Batteries are problematic. They're working on them, but we've seen problems with them. Right now, we have a system that works, which is gasoline, stopping at a gas station. We're all incredibly used to that system.
Mhm.
So it's very difficult to impose a new system.
The medical field.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a really good point.
Neck and stroke are 100% preventable, and cardiac
You hear
disease
people
is
say
reversible. It's
EVs
not
are
in the
great,
gene.
they're important, they're gonna change global climate change. I'm not sure I believe that. But then you ask them, do you have an EV? No. Do you
Right.
plan to buy one? Yeah,
No.
probably someday. Well,
Yeah.
when's that going to be exactly?
Right. I don't think most people are ready. I don't think that they're willing to make that commitment right now.
We're going to find out probably in the next 6 to 12 months because a lot of new models are coming in and from Volkswagen, from General Motors, from Ford, and we're going to actually see what the sales are like.
Yeah, that's a good point. Great point.
After Wixom Road, also 96 eastbound after Pinckney. Both those accidents are clear. Still heavy delays because of new crashes. M14 westbound at US 23. Accident there has traffic delayed from Ford Road. Jeffries 96 westbound at Beach Daily. New accident blocking the right shoulder. Also 96 westbound at Evergreen in your express lanes. Accident blocking the left shoulder. 94 westbound after 26 Mile Road. Accident. New one blocks the left shoulder there. 75 and northbound after Baldwin. Wreck is on the right shoulder. 696 eastbound before Greenfield. Accident blocking that right shoulder. Also in Sterling Heights, 19 Mile eastbound at Ryan Road. Collision there causing delays. US 23 northbound after M14. Accident blocking your left 2 lanes. Southfield Freeway northbound at 7 Mile. New accident blocking the left lane. Slow from Grand River. 75 southbound after the Davison. 2 left lanes are blocked. A crash there. Slow from 7 Mile. And 96 Jeffries westbound at Telegraph. Accident blocks the right lane. Also, the exit ramp is blocked. Slow from Evergreen. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Reamer Floors. Refresh your home this spring with new floors from Reamer Floors. Shop during their 2-day sale on March 18th and 19th. Save on all their top brands, including Fabrica carpets and rugs. Reamer Floors on Telegraph, 1 mile north of Square Lake.
Cloudy Friday morning, but not much in the way of snow around. Should not impact travel. Any flurry snow showers that you do get. Same thing this afternoon, a flurry snow shower, high 37. Cold night tonight. We'll drop back to 18. Suburbs colder, some flurries and snow showers. Saturday, partly cloudy, only in the upper 20s. Teens at night. Sunday, cloudy, highs in the mid-40s. Into the mid-50s, though, by Monday, partly sunny. From a Weather Channel meteorologist, Ray Stagik on News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again, substituting for Paul W. Smith, here's Chris Renwick.
There's a lot of things that we do right in this town. We do punchkis. We do conies. We make good cars, and we've got great auto reporters. And we've got one of them on today, and it's not a punchki. Daron Levin is one of the premier auto journalists in this area. He joins us this morning on the Paul W. Smith Show as we continue on the Road Show. Daron, nice to have you with us.
Well, I'm blushing. Thanks very much, and nice to be with you, Chris.
Goal accomplished. You know, I think it's interesting because, you know, companies have said, especially here in this town, look, we want to be EV by X date, or we're going to take this electric vehicle push into this direction, and we're going to focus on this path. That has not really necessarily been Toyota's mindset in this. They're taking a much more measured, maybe even practical approach as to saying, well, look, let's let the market dictate it. If people really want these things, we'll make them. But if not, we want to be able to stay the path that we're at because we're doing some good stuff anyway. So how do you look at Toyota and their EV future as compared to maybe some other companies?
Well, I think that it's important, first of all, to look at a little bit of history. Right now, we're going through a big spike in gasoline prices. And the same thing was happening in the 70s. It happened in the 90s again. And Toyota came up with something called the gas electric hybrid. And when Toyota introduced this, a lot of people laughed, especially the German auto manufacturers. Why would you create a gas and an electric hybrid system with two systems at once? It's heavier, it's more expensive. And Toyota engineers said, look, this is going to save gasoline. They invested a lot in the gas electric hybrid. The Prius came out. It was very, very successful. And suddenly everybody was copying Toyota. They believe that if you want to prevent the propagation of CO2 and if you want to save energy, the smart way to do that in the short to medium term is with gas electric hybrids. There are people who insist that they want a zero emission vehicle. And we've seen legislation in California that mandates zero emission vehicles. Toyota thinks that this in the long run is not necessarily the quickest way to get to a zero carbon future. And besides, they also have all of this big investment in gas electric hybrids. So they have battery technology and they have battery cars. In fact, I'm going to be driving what they call the BZ4X, which is their first full battery mass market vehicle later this month. I'll be out in California to test drive it. It'll be introduced later in the year, and then a Lexus version of it, which is Toyota's luxury brand, is going to come out. So they have this technology, but they're not interested in proving anything to anybody by saying we're going to go 100% battery by any specific date.
You know, it's really interesting. We talked to Kristen Tabar, the vice president of vehicle development, just a couple of minutes ago. And she said kind of the same thing. Look, we're interested in doing what the consumer wants, what the buyer of the vehicle wants. And we want to do it well. And we're going to improve upon those things. But if there are things, she didn't say this, so I'm going to say it in place. It seems like that if there's something that's not working, then they're not going to do it. They're not going to go down that path. They're going to continue to improve what they know works. And so it just seems like if the demand maybe isn't there for like electric vehicles, then they're going to continue on the path they are. But if EV production and the demand goes up, you make it seem like they're going to be able to pivot quickly to that.
Well, they're going to come across quickly that Toyota can change. Toyota has the technology. It's not like they have to invent it. They have the relationships with suppliers, which are very important because when you build an EV, it's not just a slightly different version of the car you're driving today. It's completely different in many, many ways. It still has a steering wheel. It still has a suspension. It still has a body, seats, lights, that sort of thing. But the interior of it is completely different. So you need all those relationships with suppliers, and Toyota is developing that worldwide. It's a Japanese company, of course, but it's got lots of operations in China, lots of operations in Europe, and now lots of operations in the United States. In fact, it's interesting that this past year, Toyota was the #1 seller of vehicles, new vehicles in the United States, which was quite a shock to everybody because decades ago, when they came to the United States, nobody could really even pronounce their name. And now they've surpassed General Motors as the #1 seller of vehicles in the United States. And that's an interesting question as to whether they're going to continue on that path or not.
Well, and I think that speaks to, look, we obviously have the big three, but Toyota has been around here for so long in North America. And I kind of consider them as the big four now. I think Toyota has kind of situated themselves in that category.
Well, they're definitely in the conversation, and you can't mention the top automakers in the world without mentioning Toyota, because they are some years #1 in the world. They've become #1 in the United States, and it's interesting how they've done it. It's sort of the tortoise and the hare. They sort of move forward in kind of half steps and baby steps, but they just keep moving forward. And whenever anybody asks a Toyota executive, is it your goal to be #1 in the world or #1 in the United States? They always say, no, we really don't want to be #1. We want to be #1 in the mind of consumers. So they've always marked themselves and characterized themselves as a company that really does a lot of research and really tries to find out what consumers want. And they will tell you that they don't believe that American consumers en masse really right now want battery-powered cars. So this could be a problem for companies that overinvest in electric technology now.
We got about a minute left here, but I wanted to ask you just about the EV kind of I guess move and companies that are making this decision. How important is it to not only build the vehicles that they want, right, like kind of mid-size SUVs and higher, but at an affordable rate? Because it seems that right now that a lot of these vehicles are unattainable for middle class drivers, and the some of the vehicles that are more affordable are smaller vehicles. So when do we see this kind of even out?
The answer is no one knows, Chris. It's an interesting story, and we have to keep covering it. But nobody really knows when there's going to be mass adoption by consumers to electric vehicles. Nobody knows that.
Interesting. Well, something we will all keep our eye on, as will Daron Levin, who a fantastic auto journalist over at SiriusXM. He's all over the place. It's nice to talk with you, nice to catch up, and
likewise, good to meet you, Chris, and lots of good luck while you're filling in for Paul.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Nice to talk with you.
Yeah, I know.
We continue on with the Road Show here on the Paul W. Smith Show, next on WJR. Coming up at 8:05, look, good news out of the world of sports. Yes, the Spartans won, but also we're going to have baseball again. Major League Baseball, the Players Association have come to an agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement. We will talk about that next with Trevor Huth from Bless You Boys. Don't go anywhere. The Paul W. Smith Show continues here on WJR.
Listen up, loyal WJR listeners. Estate Planning Legal Services is pleased to offer a free complimentary estate planning kit. Let's be honest, we never truly know what tomorrow will bring. So estate planning is the simplest way to guarantee your assets and property will be distributed according to your wishes. An accident, a serious medical issue, or an emergency can occur, unfortunately, at any time. So that's why all WJR listeners need to talk to Estate Planning Legal Services. When the unexpected happens, your heirs will receive your assets on the terms and conditions you want and remove any uncertainty that could cost time, privacy, control, and money. EPLS prepares comprehensive planning packages to manage and protect your family. Receive your free complimentary estate planning kit and set your appointment now with locally based estate planning legal services. Call 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. That's 248-435-0400 or visit EPLSPC.com. Plan for tomorrow today. Estate Planning Legal Services.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
Check it out, Limu, a roadside carnival.
Step right up, folks. Test your strength. Come see the fire-breathing baby.
Let's fan out and tell people that Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Look, an emu wearing sunglasses.
Limu, you're famous. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Dell's semi-annual sale is the perfect opportunity for a significant business upgrade. Save up to 45% on Dell computers with Windows 11 Pro and get an easy start to your workday. Plus, enjoy
Mark, I
special
agree.
pricing
It's a
on
nice
Dell
little
docks, monitors, servers, and more.
Nice
All with
little
easy
escape from
financing
everything
options
going
through
on in
Dell
the world.
Financial Services. Speak to a Dell Technologies advisor today to find the right tech for your business with fast free shipping. Call 877.
Brian, I'm sorry if I was
Dell.
late there. My
That's
clock
877
froze.
Ask Dell.
WJR Detroit.
Russia's stepping up the bombing in Ukraine. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, hitting several cities from east to west with airstrikes overnight.
The city of Dnipro, just the latest to be in the firing line. That city today surrounded. Yesterday, it had not been.
Other strikes at a Ukrainian military base and that long-stalled Russian convoy outside the capital.
Well, now, finally, it seems to have moved and it's redeployed. And it does raise the specter that there could be an assault on the capital soon.
Fox's Benjamin Hall in Kyiv. It's now 2.5 million Ukrainians who fled the country. Some cannot get out.
In a week, we will have hunger in the Mariupol, and maybe before even that 350,000 people are in mousetrap.
Ukrainian parliament member Dmytro Gurin tells Fox they have no heat, no power.
And the people melt snow to have water.
Now, Congress and the Senate's joined the House, approving nearly $14 billion in more aid to Ukraine. We're paying a penny more for gas today. AAA's national average for regular now a record $4.33 per gallon. Diesel's up 8 cents to a record $5.13. President Biden blames Russia's invasion. Republicans blame his green energy policies for gas price spikes pre-invasion, saying he's driving domestic oil production down. But the president told a Democratic National Committee event the production's rising, and
the CEOs of major oil companies have said they'll increase investment and production. They have the capacity to do it. They have over 4,000 opportunities. They say there's nothing the U.S. government needs to do to incentivize them.
Actor Jussie Smollett has a new role. Prisoner. Sentenced to 150 days in jail in Chicago for staging a fake hate crime attack on himself in 2019, but Smollett was defiant as he was led out of court.
I am not suicidal. Stop locking up our flags. I am not suicidal, and I am innocent. I could have said that I was guilty a long time ago.
And remember this.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
That was 2 years ago today. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Penske Logistics. Penske Logistics is hiring warehouse workers in Romulus. Earn up to $27.05 an hour. No experience required. Sign-on bonus available. Apply by texting PLW1 to 25,000. That's PLW1 to 25000.
Still slip sliding away on the roadways. Many accidents out there, and a closure in Ingham County. 96 eastbound between Williamston Road and Stockbridge shut down there due to a crash. Avoid the area. Jeffries 96 westbound at Telegraph. Accident blocking the right lane of that ramp. Earlier crash on the Jeffries westbound at Beach Daily. That is clear. 96 westbound at Telegraph. As I mentioned, the right lane is blocked due to a crash there. Traffic delayed from at least Evergreen. 96 westbound at Evergreen. Accident blocks the left shoulder. 696 eastbound before Greenfield. Wreck is on the right shoulder. 75 northbound after Baldwin. Accident blocks the right shoulder. Southbound 75 after the Davison accident. There is clear. 6-minute delay from 8 Mile. Southfield Freeway northbound at 7 Mile. Accident blocks the left lane. Slow from Grand River. US 23 northbound after M14. Left 2 lanes are blocked due to a crash there. 94 westbound after 26 Mile. Accident on the left shoulder. In Washtenaw, M14 westbound at US 23. Accident has you delayed from Gottfriedson. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Expecting these snow flurries at least for the next few minutes, at least until 8:30 this morning. Then cloudy conditions, a high of 36 tonight. Cloudy skies, overnight low 17. Cold day on Saturday, sun in the morning, clouds in the afternoon. Could see a few flurries, a high of 26. Currently 26 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Catch The Mortgage Show every Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the #1 source for mortgage news, hosted by mortgage experts Sean Meador and Teresa Strasser. They'll help find the right mortgage product for your specific needs. It's brought to you by Network Capital Funding. It's The Mortgage Show, every Sunday at 2 p.m. on News Talk 760 WJR. Listen to a special extended hour of the Inside Outside Guys with a special guest, Jeff Weaver from Clarkston Window and Door, this Saturday at 12 p.m. on 760 WJR.
Why do more Americans buy term life insurance through Select Quote than any other term life sales agency? Because Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. We found Tanya a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $12 a month. And her husband Steve, who has high blood pressure, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. How do we do it? At Select Quote, we aggressively comparison shop highly rated insurance companies to find you your best rates. Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, Select Quote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
Select Quote, America's #1 term life insurance sales agency. We shop, you save. For your free quote, call Select Quote at 1-800-913-1199. That's 1-800-913-1199. Or go to selectquote.com. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Know your risk factor for heart attack and stroke. Tune in Sundays at 3 to News Talk 760 WJR to hear about the latest diagnostic technology from Dr. Brian Collender.
It's the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith, presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's road show is at Toyota. Now filling in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Well, thank goodness it got done. It got done. We will have a full season of Major League Baseball. Now, I got to get these guys to spring training ASAP and get them in as best shape as we can get them in before April 8th, an opening day here in Detroit. But Major League Baseball owners, league come to terms with the union, and it's good news. Helping us breaking it all down is Trevor Huth, the blogger over at Bless You Boys. Always provides great analysis for us. Joins us this morning on the Paul W. Smith Show. Trevor, I know that we had talked a couple of times leading up to this point, and there had been some hesitation about whether or not this thing was going to get done, how long the owners were willing to take this thing into the hole before they finally came to an agreement. So the good news is they got it done. Aside from the luxury tax portion of this, which we'll get to in a second, what to you was the most interesting thing or surprising thing or most impactful thing that eventually got this thing done?
Well, first of all, it's great to be talking about this. 99 days later, the lockout's over and we get baseball. But I really think the players holding their ground was amazing in this because really from the start, the owners held all the cards and the players said, okay, we'll lose the games, whatever. Those fake deadlines that were put out by the owners to try to scare the players, I think it was, because there's a full 162 game season. No games are canceled right now, so those deadlines were kind of just look like scare tactics at this point. But the players held their ground, and now they got a lot of what they wanted. They got their voice heard a lot. I mean, the raise in the minimum salary is a 23% increase just for the next year, and that's up to $700,000, which will continue to grow and get up to $780,000 in the final year of 2026 of this 5-year CBA agreement. And that's not the only huge increase. The luxury tax threshold, that's way up. And the arbitration number is $50 million. It's a $50 million player pool for those pre-arbitration players who could. So it means if they play well, they get more money early on. And that was the biggest thing for the players going into this, is they want the young guys to be able to make some money earlier in their careers.
Well, and another huge sticking point you mentioned was the luxury tax. And it's not, there is no cap in baseball, but it's essentially a de facto cap because really teams don't want to be at the luxury tax level. They don't want to have to pay extra on top of the $210 million that it was set at previously. So the players took this notion of, if we raise that cap at the luxury tax higher, that means that hypothetically, more of the revenues that the owners and teams generate could be passed down to the players through bigger salaries, bigger contracts. And in that initial offering, in that first, last chance offer that the owners put out, they did raise it by about $10 million. The players, we knew were going to cancel. They were going to decline that, which they did. But now this is really up to the kind of levels that they had been asking. So now it's going to go up to $230 million from $210. And then it's only going to grow up to $242 million by 2026. This was a huge win for the association, the Players Association.
It really was. And it honestly, I'm a little surprised because the owners gave in on a lot of money things that it didn't seem like they were going to. I mean, I don't really know what changed between them. There's obviously other parts of this CBA outside of the money, and I think the owners might have gotten what they wanted in a lot of ways for those things, including that international draft component that came up just a few days ago. That's already been worked out, and of course the expanded playoffs. They got the universal designated hitter. And a few other things to try to stop teams from tanking and getting that top draft pick. There's a 6-team draft lottery now too. So I think maybe the owners were just kind of holding out on their part of the money so they could get the game the way they wanted to. Sure. And the players were just like, that's cool. We'd like more money. So I think in the end, I mean, everybody seemed pretty happy about it. If you look at the voting breakdown of it all, it was pretty universal on both sides from the owners and the players when they went back to their separate camps to vote to accept it or not.
All right, so let's talk baseball now. So now the plan is to get these players into spring training mode as quick as possible, because you're looking at a little less than a month before opening day here in Detroit. And we're in a situation now where the Tigers, they've got some young prospects down in the minor leagues, particularly Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green, that a lot of people want to see. What are the chances that some of those guys make the move up to the big leagues here? And how does this team get into that preparation mode quickly?
Well, spring training starts on Sunday. That's the official given date is March 13th. So they're going to be ramping up for that one. And I think we're going to see these guys pretty soon. They're both incredibly special talents. I especially on Bless You Boys, I have a whole article dedicated to how good Riley Green actually is. So I'm extremely high on him and what he can do. And the Tigers are in a mode where they're making moves, or they made moves prior to the lockout in bringing in Tucker Barnhart and bringing in Eduardo Rodriguez and Javier Baez. They want to win, and they have room for both Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green to come up as soon as possible. Now, if they, truly think that they're not quite ready for it and they have to wait a little bit, that, would make sense. But man, the other part of this is with the lockout, with the rookies, you didn't know what the service time manipulation stuff was going to look like. So there's a full year of service time added to players who finish in Rookie of the Year voting and top Rookie of the Year voting, and that is in the prospect's favor as well.
30 seconds left here. AJ Hinch has been, in my mind, one of the best managers in baseball. He's here in Detroit, year 2 now. How does he impact this roster going forward?
Just getting the guys ready to play. You could see some of it. Michael Fulmer is a huge example for me, and Kyle Funkow, the starting pitchers who struggled, and now they're in the bullpen. So he's a very smart manager, and that's going to add some wins for the team.
Yeah, I agree. Trevor Huth, always great stuff. You can catch it at Bless You Boys. And look, finally, we have good news. We have baseball on the horizon. Trevor, thanks for the time as always. Appreciate it. All right, more to come on the Paul W. Smith Show next as we continue on the Road Show here this morning on WJR. Chris Renwick in for Paul this morning. Don't go anywhere. More to come next.
You already know that Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan has the largest network of top doctors and hospitals in all of Michigan. But what you may not know is Blue Cross is making it easier than ever for you to see these top doctors, however, whenever, and wherever you need to see them. And that means you can get the care you need on your terms through office visits, telehealth, a 24-hour nurse line, mental health support, urgent care, and more, giving you the confidence in knowing that you and your family are covered no matter what. No wonder Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan is the name more people across the state have trusted for the past 83 years to help them live healthier lives. So, whether it's a cough, a fever, a broken arm, or a broken spirit, Blue Cross is here for you anytime, anywhere, with access to support for both your physical and mental health, even from the privacy of your own home. Blue Cross is here for it all and always will be. Learn more at hereforitall.com. That's hereforitall.com.
If you own a Michigan business, it's time to meet MEDC. The Michigan Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business reach its new potential by connecting you to resources, introducing you to partners, and accessing the necessary capital to build your Michigan business. Contact us today to find customized support for your business at michiganbusiness.org/partnership.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Everyone is wondering what the Federal Reserve will do in March. Will they take a hike? On the next America's Wealth Management show, what the Federal Reserve may do in the coming months. Sunday night at 5, right here on WJR.
Hi, folks. Craig Hubble, General Manager at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. I have great news for you. We have truckloads of new 2022 Cadillac inventory right here, right now, waiting for you at Crestview Cadillac in Rochester. If you've been waiting for the right new Cadillac, I bet I have it in stock. We're experts at employee pricing. We pull ahead Cadillac leases every day. My price will be unmatched. And we have truckloads more coming in daily. Please call us now. See us on Rochester Road or at CrestviewCadillac.com.
Sure and Bigora. My Paul W. Smith St. Patrick's Day celebration is back.
Paul W.'s virtual St. Patty's Day party is sponsored by Abso Pure, bottled water and coffee service, and by Weingarts, everything from lawn to snow, with music by the Corktown Popes.
Listen Thursday morning from the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, where the movers and shakers gather, well, to move and shake. And if we're blessed, a limerick or two.
Paul W. Smith's 36th virtual St. Patrick's Day celebration, Thursday morning on 760 WJR.
Novo Platform Inc. is a fintech, not a bank. Banking services provided by Middlesex Federal Savings, FA. Member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
You're making something new with your business. To support you, Novo built a new kind of business checking. Instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, Novo is customized to your business to save you time and free up cash flow. Sign up for your free business checking account right now. Plus, our listeners get access to over $5,000 in per.
Say that again.
No, I said all set for more fun until our daddy takes the T-Bird away.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. It doesn't matter how big or small your business is. If you're a plumber, roofer, electrician, or remodeler, your business earns back when you spend, gets exclusive offers, and paint rewards. It all adds up to help drive your business. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards and Partnership Program today. Minimum.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate that.
You know, it's something I really hadn't done for a while.
2 years. You've been pantless for 2 years.
Actually, you know, seriously, tomorrow marks the 2-year anniversary of me being grounded.
Oh my goodness.
Tools
it's crazy.
Where you only pay for what you need.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Right.
LibertyMutual.com.
St. Patrick's Day has started early in the Russell household.
That it has.
Accident along the Jeffries 96 westbound at Telegraph. That collision is clear. Seeing a delay from the Southfield Freeway. Your off ramp has reopened as well. 96 westbound at Telegraph is clear. 96 westbound at Beck. Wreck blocks the right shoulder. 96 westbound at Evergreen. This is in your express lanes. Accident on the left shoulder. 696 eastbound before Greenfield. Accident blocks the right shoulder there. 94 westbound at Rawsonville Road. Accident has you delayed from Belleville. And Southfield Freeway northbound at 7 Mile. Accident blocks the left lane. A delay from at least 96. US 23 northbound after M14. Accident blocking your left 2 lanes. A 16-minute backup from M14. And M14 westbound at US 23. An accident there has you delayed from Ford Road. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Shelving.com. Is your business limited on storage space? Shelving.com recommends looking vertically, offering products like durable Unirack pallet racking up to 26 feet high, or double your floor space without expensive renovations using prefabricated modular mezzanines. Shelving.com, we rack your world.
Old Man Winter's trying to hang on with some cold weather and maybe a little snow flying around, but I'm not looking for much, if anything, in the way of accumulating snowfall. There are advisories, though, to our west, and they'll expire here pretty quickly. This afternoon, just cloudy and 37 degrees. Gusty breeze, too, and still some lingering snow showers or flurries. We'll roll through tonight, maybe from flurries and snow showers, 16, and it's going to feel colder with that. Windy tomorrow, becoming mostly cloudy with more flurries and snow showers. Sunday, snow showers.
Hear an echo here. I guess that's what I'll hear.
From the Weather Channel.
Oh, it'll probably go off after.
760 WJR.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith, presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
It's one of my favorite parts of Friday's show on Paul's show. It's just one of the best. I love it. It's time for movies with Greg Russell. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
And Dana Clark.
Good to see you.
Woo-woo, Friday.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Love this. Oh, yeah. Greg's got to move. Okay, Dana, I need the echo. Give me the.
It's time for movie. Show. Plus.
That's what I'm here for. Greg Russell, nice to see you. Good morning.
Great to see you too.
Yeah.
And Dana.
Hey.
We got I think, we talked about Batman last week, and that has done pretty well. You had a nice finger on the pulse there, Greg. Well done. But we got a couple other really cool projects here that I want to start. Well, let's start with the Adam Project.
Yeah, the Adam Project. This one stars the one and only Ryan Reynolds, and what he is he's a time flying pilot. So he goes back to the future and meets up with his younger self, and also his father, who had passed away, to do some things to help save the world in the future. And the thing that I think is probably like the coolest is, how Ryan Reynolds also plays a superhero. Well, his dad's played by Mark Ruffalo, who of course is the Hulk. I'm thinking the kid in the movie, this just has to be the greatest role in the world for him.
No doubt. Deadpool and the Hulk.
Yeah. Yep. But it's a nice, cute movie, and especially with the way the weather's looking this weekend. It's on Netflix. Yeah, just kick back. I mean, it's something for the entire family.
Interesting. All right, let's take a listen to the Adam Project here.
Laura, this is me.
Hi. Parallel contact, babe?
Well, you've always said that you've wished you'd met me earlier. Here I am.
What's your plan?
Well, I'm not going to explain my plan to a 12-year-old nerd with an
You don't
inhaler because I
have
do not have a plan, but I know somebody who does.
Dad.
I'm the godfather of time travel? The Adam Project.
Ryan, look, I will pretty much watch anything that Ryan Reynolds is in. I think he's fantastic. Dana, are you a Ryan Reynolds fan?
Totally. And it's Netflix, as Greg mentioned, free 99. So, yeah, I'm going to watch it.
All right. So what's the verdict here on the
Adam out of our? I think we go up to 4. We can even just say again like a 3.5 because like you said, it's a fun movie, and also there's another reunion in this movie. Ryan Reynolds' mom is played by Jennifer Gardner, and her husband is Mark Ruffalo. 13 going on 30.
Oh,
another movie that dealt with changing the body. So
man, this guy that's a 13 going on 30 reference. This one that is good stuff. Wow. All right. Well, 3.5. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean,
that's good.
That's just cold, snowy. Get some popcorn and watch.
Yeah, love it. And the next one I'm really excited to talk about. To me, there are very few actors that I put on such a high pedestal. Samuel L. Jackson is, I mean, there's just the best out there. He's the best out there. And he's got, this is a series, I think. This isn't a movie. This is a series. The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray. And again, I'll pretty much watch anything Samuel L. Jackson's in. This it strikes me as another one of those occasions for me.
Oh, it is. You will get pulled into this. Also, Chris, I got to give you so many kudos right now for saying the name correctly.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just come clean then. Did I perhaps go on YouTube at like 3:30 this morning and type in the name and then review and then I just listened to a couple and that's what I came up with. So Ptolemy Gray, that's it.
Yep, because we called him everything. But no, you're right. It's an interesting subject. In this movie or in this series, Sam plays a guy who's 90 years old and suffering from dementia. For the most part, his family, they don't want to have much to do with him except, take his money. And so a young lady who is a good friend of the family, where she's almost like a family member, comes to stay with him. And she is actually there because she does love him. And she's there to take care of him. Well, all of a sudden, a doctor who is working on some medication to hopefully reverse dementia and Alzheimer's is looking for elderly people who would like to get in on this program. So Sam's character does, and it does begin to reverse, some of his thoughts, and he gets to see things a little bit more clearly about what's going on.
Greg Russell just called Samuel L. Jackson Sam, and I can't get over it. Here's a listen to The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray.
Reggie, I'm old, and I seem like I can't remember nothing no more. I try to say what day it is, I ain't got a clue.
So you want me to take you to that special doctor? One that might help you remember things.
We developed a treatment. Mr. Gray will remember everything that he has ever known, but the treatment will only work once.
Dana,
how many in this series?
Well,
like 6.
I'd say it's a good one because usually with series there's some episodes that are like this, some there maybe like a little bit more in the middle. But yeah, you'll enjoy it. It also makes you think. It's another one of those like. I know there's a movie a few years back where if you took this pill, it was going to make you the smartest person in the world. But once it wore off, you were. So it kind of makes you wonder if you're in the same situation. Would I take this pill? And I started thinking if I was 90 years old and could get back everying for just even a little while, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I'd do it.
Interesting.
Who names their kid Ptolemy?
Well, he's from his character's from the deep south, and he's born, I guess, really like in the 1930s. Okay. So that was kind of like when everybody's just instead of you being Dana, hey. Tree bush, come over here.
Tree bush.
But Ptolemy spelled Ptolemy.
Yeah.
Weird.
All to throw me off this morning. Dana, you into this? Are you watching it?
Sure. It's Apple TV. I have Apple. I love Sam.
Sam.
I'll watch it.
I'll tell you the story later, Chris. I feel like I'd say that or call him that.
Fair enough. I'd love to hear. What's the rating on this one? What do we got, real quick?
Oh, rating on this one. If we have to give it, we'll give it. Yeah, definitely a 5 or 5 or 4, whatever. Because Sam does do an excellent job, and so does the young lady who plays his caretaker.
Yeah, no surprise that he does a good job. He's one of the best in the business.
Yep.
So are you, Greg Russell. Nice seeing you.
Great.
Thank you for all the insight. Yeah,
Dana, and thank you all very much.
And if you want to, hook me up with Sam. Give him my number.
Right.
No big deal. Hi, Dana. Nice seeing you.
Good to see you guys.
All right, the Paul W. Smith Show continues on as we continue on our road show this morning on WJR. Chris Renwick in for Paul. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap this thing up in the next half hour.
The Paul W. Smith Show's weekly dealer download is powered by Bill Brown Ford.
After American automaker Ford announced it was halting its joint venture operations in Russia, President and CEO Jim Farley said Wednesday the company is going all in the USA. We bet on the United States, Ford told Fox Business's Stuart Barney. We have a lower percentage of our production in Canada and Mexico than any one of our competitors, and we build more and we export more from the United States. In a statement released Tuesday, Ford said it's deeply concerned by the Russian invasion of Ukraine, forcing the company to reassess its relationship with Russia. The suspension was effective immediately. Ford Motor Company has a strong contingent of Ukrainian nationals working at Ford around the world, and they will continue to support them through this time.
Bill Brown Ford. Stop by and see us or visit us online. Bill Brown Ford, the fastest way to get your new Ford in 2022.
For more details, call 734-399-4244 or visit BillBrownFord.com.
I'm Chuck Bridenstine, the inside guy.
And I'm Ken Calverley, the outside guy. We're here with WJR's Ken Rogalski to talk about CertaPro painters.
Ken, tell us about CertaPro painters. What kind of work are they doing for you?
Thanks, Chuck. We already bought a complete CertaPro exterior paint job on our house, and we were thrilled, especially Mrs. Rogalski. Our 15-year-old home looks brand new again. They painted my home as if it were their home. We're so happy that we've invited the CertaPros back for some interior painting.
That's great. It really is the perfect time to transform your walls with a fresh new color.
Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. They are right here in our community.
Exterior or interior, for your home or business, CertaPro painters can take care of it all. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Painters you can trust.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Gas is up another penny a gallon today to $4.33 on average nationwide, according to AAA. President Biden says oil production is up during his time in office and blames the Russian invasion of Ukraine for driving up prices.
This crisis is another indication of why we need to get off dependency on fossil fuels.
The president at the Democratic National Committee's winter meeting. Texas Senate Republican Ted Cruz tells Fox's Sean Hannity.
Gas prices had increased nearly 50% under Joe Biden before Putin invaded Ukraine.
The Russian military operation has expanded with airstrikes in more cities. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky.
This is outright terror, blatant terror from experienced terrorists.
Russian President Vladimir Putin says economic sanctions against his country will only make Russia more self-sufficient. An 83-year-old convicted murderer out on parole since 2019 is charged with the murder of a woman found dismembered in a garbage bag in a shopping cart in Brooklyn, New York. America's listening to Fox News.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Your happiest spring starts at Lowe's. Right now, Scott's Triple Action Lawn Fertilizer, everyday low price, starts at $29.98. Lowe's, home to any possibility. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Valid 3/10 through 3/16. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
In Ingham County, 96 eastbound between Williamston and Stockbridge Road. That earlier accident is clear. That area has reopened. Also in Novi, 96 westbound at Beck. That collision is clear. 96 westbound at Evergreen and near Express Lanes, a collision blocking the left shoulder. 696 eastbound before Greenfield, wreck on the right shoulder. Southfield Freeway northbound at 7 Mile, accident blocks the left lane, slows from Grand River. 94 westbound at Rawsonville Road, accident has you delayed from Belleville. US 23 northbound after M14, that accident is clear, slow from M14. M14 westbound at US 23, collision there is clear. Groesbeck southbound before 12 Mile, this is in Roseville. New accident in the center lane. Traffic delayed from Common Road. Now, WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Expecting flurries to continue throughout the morning. Clouds this afternoon, a high of 36. Tonight, cloudy conditions, some flurries overnight, low 17. Saturday, very cold. Sun in the morning, clouds in the afternoon, a few flurries. Your high 26. Bit of a warm up on Sunday. Cloudy skies, snow showers, a high of 46. Snow flurries, 27 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR Traffic and Weather First.
Great Lakes Post empowers and employs individuals with autism and special needs to cover the spectrum of sports and entertainment in America. Great Lakes Post is proudly made possible by the generous support of Ally Financial and Artisan Tile.
This is Anthony Ianni, National Sports Correspondent for Great Lakes Post. As you may imagine, now is my favorite time of the year. Yes, March Madness is here, at last. Get your bracket mojo on and survive.
Hey, Chris,
in advance.
Coach, and
Visit
Steve are both on the line.
GreatLakesPost.com for more info and full-length interviews.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 844-47-BIBLE. That's 844-47-BIBLE. 844-47-BIBLE.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again substituting for Paul W. Smith, here's Chris Renwick.
There's a cliche term that is used quite a bit around this time of year. It's called survive in advance. And that's what the Spartans did yesterday on the backs of Max Christie, who scored 16, Gabe Brown adding 13. Spartans beat the Terps 76-72. They move on to take on Wisconsin now. And to break it all down for us, the head man at Michigan State, Tom Izzo, and our friend Steve Courtney. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Chris. Hello again, my friends. In our last conversation with Coach Izzo this past Monday, we were discussing how difficult it is to beat a team 3 times in a season. Well, we saw that firsthand in Indianapolis last night. Indeed, the Spartans hold on for a 76-72 win. We talk about it now. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. Well, Chris is right. Survive in advance. I think the Spartans survived. I'm not sure I did in the way that's being.
Boy, that was a tough one, Tom. Crazy how it kind of mirrored the Big Ten conclusion last Sunday. Got off to a big lead and then just mistakes, turning it over some 7 times in the final 2.5 minutes. But you prevailed, sir.
Yeah, we had a 12, 13-point lead, we had a 20-point lead. I mean, we really did. If you really looked at it, we played some of our best basketball. We shot the ball extremely well. Our defense was pretty good. They were shooting like 33 and 29%. And then in 2.5 minutes, we went from a 12-point lead to 2. And, we hadn't been pressed. And, I am going to take some of the blame. I think we just got to do a better job. But, God, we made some turnovers and some phantom fouls and some strange things happened. But that's life. If you saw last time, in our own state, Michigan had an 18-point lead, I think, and then all of a sudden they're 7 down. But Arizona, Texas A&M, you go around, the whole day was filled with 18, 17, 20-point leads, and I think 3 or 4 teams lost. So you're right, Chris, survive in advance and get to work another night. That's kind of what you want to do at this time of year.
Tom, what is it in college basketball, whether it's tournament play or whatever the case may be in big leads? Is there just a false sense of well-being that comes with a 17, 18, 20-point lead?
Well, the 3-point line, I talked to my friend Gary Williams, the old Maryland coach, a week ago, and he says, I hate the 3-point line. It gives them too much credit for not as tough a shot. It should be moved back. Everybody has a different opinion. But I guess for fans, for TV, even for radio, it's probably great. For coaches, it's a nightmare. And I don't know what it is, but it's happening. I feel bad when we might have played our best 30 minutes of basketball. I mean, we had 3 turnovers the first half. We had 4 with 10 minutes left to go in the game. Right. And then we had, I think 9 or 10 from there and 7 in the last 2.5 minutes. So that's still a lot of pretty good basketball. And the theme all year when you and I talk is, can we play 40 minutes? Can we get consistently consistent instead of consistently inconsistent? The minutes are getting better. We're shrinking them down. We're having more good minutes than bad. But to win in tournament time, you can't have those kind of things. And I was upset about it.
Well, you talk about the performance offensively. When you take a look at the numbers, one of the better ball games of the year. 50% from the floor, 47.4% from beyond the arc, and 81.3% from the charity stripe. You take away those turnovers, obviously, Tom, at a very critical time. And this had all the markings of being a great ball game for you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think, what are we out rebounding by 6-8 or something?
10.
I mean, 10. Oh my God! I'm not even giving us enough credit. So if it was a normal game and you ended up with 9, 10 turnovers, you're ecstatic. You win boards by 10. You shoot 50 and 45. You hold them at if we don't turn it over, to probably 32 and 28. You came home, and at this time of year you don't sleep anyway, but you feel a little better when you're working than we did last night. But there is truth to the survive and advance theory, and I'm not sure I agree with it, but it works.
How different, Tom, is the atmosphere now that we're in the Big Ten tournament with this ball club?
Well, the atmosphere is different because we don't have those cardboard cutouts in the stands. I said for poor, Gabe and if you can believe this, Gabe and Marcus are the only 2 players on my team that really played in the Big Ten tournament. Either played in it or played it with anybody there. The last 2 years we didn't play in it 1 year, and we didn't play in front of anybody in the other years. So that's been a little strange too.
All right, now up next, 6:30 tip. Later on this evening, 5:30 pregame here on WJR. You get number 2 seeded Wisconsin. Interesting factoid here. You split with the Badgers in the regular season. Both wins coming on the road floor. Interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said we split, and then you said both wins. But you meant their win and our win. Don't be including that. This is our network, not theirs. So I would say that we did win over there, and we just couldn't make a shot at our place. We actually defended them very well. I mean, our guys feel comfortable and confident going into this game, but we do got to take care of the ball, and yet give Maryland some credit too. I mean, they put in a small lineup, and that was probably the most athletic team we played all year by far. In a league that now has so many big guys, they went 6'7" at center and just went with athletes at every position and length. And so part of it was them too. They deserve some credit for how they played.
Well, we talked about Fats Russell. I mean, can't say enough about this kid. He's gritty. He seems to be everywhere. Ayala turns in another nice performance as well. And all the credit in the world to Danny Manning and this Maryland team. Now, when you take a look at Wisconsin, obviously we've talked, Tom, during the year, a half-court offense. They run it to perfection.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how a guy that's 5'9", 120 pounds could be called fats, but I guess that he was quicker than a mosquito. I mean, he was everywhere, and we did a decent job, like I said, on both him and Ayala, except for those last 3-4 minutes. They both scored, I think, 5-6 points then, but they both had to earn them too, though. They did not shoot great percentages. So now we go to Wisconsin, who's the exact opposite. Not as athletic, very patterned and very patient. And
right.
But I don't know. I feel good about our draw. Hopefully we'll play well.
All right. All the best, Coach. Good luck, and we will talk about the weekend proceedings leading up to Selection Sunday come Monday morning with you. All the best, as always, sir.
Okay, man. Thank you.
All right. Magnum TI, Tom Izzo. Again, it will be the Spartans and the Badgers, 6:30 tonight from Indianapolis. Our pregame getting underway at 5:30 here on WJR. Chris?
Thank you, Stephen. Well done. Appreciate it. More to come on the Paul W. Smith Show next, right here on WJR.
Paul W. here. Life seems to continue to get busier and busier with each passing year. We all cherish those magical moments where time seems to slow and memories with families and friends are created. Mary Grove Awnings wants you to take a deep breath, sit back, and finally relax in the comfort of your home.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Chris, how you doing, big fella? Pleasure. Thanks so much.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
It seems like as
have
we
an awning expert.
Try to claw our way out of the pandemic here, we're hitting these milestones, and having the parade back is very exciting. It's another milestone we get to hit.
Yes, everyone's all geared up and a lot of buzz around the Corktown and the city, so we're very excited.
Yeah, it's one of our best traditions in this town.
Well, thank you.
I'm so excited it's back.
We work very hard at it, and it's a long process putting it together. So,
I can't imagine.
We're happy, yeah.
And you've really needed to stay nimble over the last couple of years, I imagine, just kind of seeing what you'll be allowed to do.
Oh, dude, at 6'4", 250, I'm nimble as hell.
Roofing Installation Excellence Award from GAF. That's America's largest roofing manufacturer, and they've won it every year since 2000, 21 straight years. Kearns Brothers is also an 8-time recipient of the GAF President's Award for excellence in training, installation, and consumer protection. No other roofing company in Michigan.
One of my memories of the St. Patrick's Day Parade
over 35 years of roofing installation.
We were young. We were probably
performance. So for you,
16 or 17.
The choice is clear. They are the Southeast Michigan experts for
my
roofing
friends and I
save up to
went down to the parade by ourselves. It was like the first time we had been to like a parade. First time we had gone anywhere downtown by ourselves.
Or visit KearnsBrothers.com.
One of our friends who drove, we were down there and we were along the parade route, and we were walking back to the car, and she's looking at her purse, and she lost her keys for the first time somewhere in Corktown. Lost her keys. We were like, you had one job. Your job was to drive. That's your job.
Done by the Inside Outside Guys team partners.
And of course,
I need a
there's thousands of
contractor
people
with just some
down
advice. I go to the InsideOutsideGuys.com. I only trust the guys with my home.
The Inside Outside Guys are brought to you in part by Clarkston Window and Door.
Hi, I'm Jeff Weaver of Clarkston Window and Door. For over 33 years, we've been providing hundreds of thousands of windows and doors to Michigan homes. Our windows are made to order, so you control the design process from color, style, grids, and hardware. Our sales team and installers are experts and have decades of experience. All that and a lifetime warranty and an affordable price. Check out our reviews online and come see us at our design showroom. Great financing options are available. Visit clarkstonwindow.com for more info or call 248-338-6781.
All right, Conference Championship Week in college basketball is officially here. And FanDuel Sportsbook, they got an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can place your first college basketball bet risk-free. And if you don't win, you get up to $1,000 back in site credit. It's college basketball betting any way you want it. Maybe you build a same-game parlay, jump in with some live in-game betting, or just take advantage of a promotion like this one. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, now's the time to give it a go. The app is easy to use. Trust me. They're always giving you great odds boosts like this one. And when you win your money, you get paid in as little as 2 hours. Look, see for yourself why FanDuel's America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today. Sign up using my promo code Renwick to get your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code Renwick.
21 and older and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
WJR Traffic and Weather First.
This report is sponsored by The Beach, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Put your tray tables up, turn vacation mode on, and fly away to where you belong. The Beach. Myrtle Beach is 60 miles where you can let your best self shine. Start planning at visitmyrtlebeach.com.
few things out there right now are clear. 96 westbound at Evergreen and your express lanes, that collision is clear. 696 eastbound before Greenfield, that's also clear. Accident blocking the center lane in Roseville along Groesbeck southbound before 12 Mile. That center lane is blocked. Seeing a delay from at least a common road. Southfield Freeway northbound at 7 Mile. Accident blocks a left lane. 10-minute delay from Grand River. 94 westbound at Rawsonville. Earlier accident is clear. Still seeing a 14-minute delay from Belleville. And an accident in the road construction area of 275 northbound between Ecorse Road and Michigan Avenue. Traffic is delayed. That right lane is blocked. Now, WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel.
A little touch of snow around, continuing to taper off now. Some of us may have seen a light accumulation, maybe a flurry or snow shower into the afternoon, 37. But the advisories remain to our west. Flurry snow showers and cold and windy tonight. 16 will feel colder.
Perfect.
The winds start to pick up again tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. Some flurries and snow showers, 25. Tomorrow night near 16. Sunday, early snow showers, high near 45. From a Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Stajic on News Talk 760 WJR.
Welcome back to the WJR Road Show with Paul W. Smith. Presented by Tajin Automotive and Lear. Today's Road Show is at Toyota. Once again in for Paul, here's Chris Renwick.
Well, it's nice to have been with you today for the Road Show on the Paul W. Smith Show, talking to our good friends over at Toyota. But you know, as we continue to try to move our way through the pandemic, and we're kind of hitting milestones, it seems like, along the way, and making it feel a lot more normal than it has been over the last couple of years. And Mike Kelly, the president of the United Irish Societies, joins us this morning to share some good news that the Detroit St. Patrick's Day Parade presented by Ford Motor Company is back this year. Mike, good to have you with us.
Thank you, Chris. It's awesome to be back. The buzz in Corktown is happening. People are out and about. The bar owners and the businesses on Michigan Avenue are thrilled to death. They've been in preparations for the last month, getting ready for this because they knew it was going to happen. So we're very excited.
How big is it for businesses in that area?
Well, you know, it's funny. When the pandemic hit, it hurt the businesses along Michigan Avenue tremendously. Normally, they're not busy in January and February with Bob McShane and Pat Osmond from Nemo's and McShane's, and you know, they're not that busy. Well, this gives them an opportunity to start the year off, and you can make 2-3 weeks worth of revenue in a couple days during the parade and St. Patrick's Day. So it's been huge for them.
And our own Paul W. Smith will be the MC of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. It's always exciting to be tied to that event, and obviously Paul does such a wonderful job.
Paul does. It's great to have him. You know, we work with a parade company in Mort Krim Communications. We're putting out a professional product for sponsors. We can't run this parade through the UIS with the work we do without the help of our sponsors. Ford Motor Company this year is helping us out. We've got some other sponsors that we got banners up, and Kitch Law Firm and Liberty Security and the Damo Demolition. Some of these and PGA associates, they clean the streets for us. It's a huge contribution from them. So we're very honored to have these sponsors help us with a parade, because without them, we just can't do it. The costs have far exceeded our fundraising capabilities.
It feels like this is a parade that's been 3 years in the making. What has gone into the preparation to get this thing going?
Well,
Sunday?
We start working on the parade, you know, back in October is when we start kicking things up. And that's why it was funny when 20 was canceled. We were into it and everything, the trigger was pulled. So we had to cancel vendors at the last minute. In 21, before we even got there, I decided to cancel the parade with the board of directors that we just didn't have enough time to prepare. So we were canceling regardless. But we knew when we canceled in 21 that we were going to be back in 22, ready to go for this. And we put out communications. So our vendors are happy. Everyone's back. And most of all, our charities are happy. We donate proceeds from our sponsorship money to our charities. This year, it's Most Holy Trinity Cabrini Clinic, which does so much for the city. The Detroit Irish Radio Show with Kathleen O'Neill, who does so much with the community as far as spreading Irish information and culture. The Jim Dwan UIS Scholarship Fund, the Palatine Fathers Missions, and the Downtown Boxing Gym. And, you know, we've had great charities in the past, St. Pat's Senior Center in particular, but they're very happy that we're back.
And what can people expect when they head down to the parade? What do we get to see?
Well, our Grand Marshal Peggy Gray gets elected through the UIS members for her contributions through the Irish community. She'll be marching down the event. We have former mayor of County Cork, Councillor Ian Doyle, and his chief of staff, Enda O'Halloran, came in from Cork yesterday, and they're going to be international. They're going to be with us today at the Painting the Shamrocks, and they'll be with us at the parade. So we're honored to have them. So there's going to be a lot of people out there. The shamrocks were hung by the Fooey's on Michigan Avenue. We've got a great fun zone this year sponsored by Liberty Security. God bless them. Paws and Rory will be there. We've got the Ghostbusters will be there for the kids. And it's going to be a wonderful time down there. Holly Hutton from 99.5 WYCD is going to MC the fun zone. We're so excited to have her. Between her and Paul and Dennis Hayes, we've got a great trio of MCs going to be working the parade for us. It'll be wonderful.
Awesome. Well, I know that there's just a ton of folks that are excited to get back down there. Again, from a spectator perspective, it's exciting. We're getting back to some sort of normalcy. Have you heard from the community and kind of the excitement, the buzz around it?
Well, this is the first year that the Corktown Business Association has a float in the parade. They're all excited. They were happy that we were coming back and gave positive feedback for us for the city of Detroit. We've got our Queen of the UIS is going to be out there. Those girls represent the UIS all year. Sarah Gum, McKenna Bosman, and Molly Reardon. They'll be down marching in the parade with us. We've got bands. We've got the Detroit Fire Clown team will be there. So there's a lot of great talk. The vibe is up in Corktown, and everyone knows it's happening. They're going to be very excited. So,
and my guess is there could be a couple of green adult beverages floating around.
Well, we try not to keep it green. Again, this is a family time for us to celebrate our Irish heritage and recognize the charitable contributions of the UIS member groups. It is a holy day. St. Patrick's Day is a holy day in Ireland, and we'll start our parade day off with Mass at Most Holy Trinity. Monsignor Kosanke does a great job with us. We're big supporters of Most Holy Trinity and Monsignor Kosanke and his community work down there. They're a wonderful group. Yeah. So we'll be stepping off from Mass and right on the parade route at the staging area.
Awesome. Mike, I'm so excited this is going again. We're so excited that you're back in action in Corktown, and obviously the businesses in the area and the community very excited as well. Mike Kelly, the president of the United Irish Societies, thanks so much, and congrats on getting this thing off the ground. We're very excited.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's a pleasure. And again, the parade starts Sunday at 1 p.m. on Michigan Avenue, and we look forward to seeing all the families and kids out there. It's going to be a wonderful day.
You're going to have a big crowd. That's my guess. Mike, thank you. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, Chris. Thanks. Have a great day.
Yep.
Pray for good weather.
You do the same, and we will pray for good weather. No doubt about it.
God bless you.
Yep, you too, Mike Kelly. In the meantime, that'll wrap it up pretty much for the Paul W. Smith Show this morning. I was in this morning, unfortunately. I wish Paul was with you, but he's got some family matters that he's taking care of on the home front. And Thomas, he told us, that his mother, Sweet Marie, had passed away last week, and so now they're taking the final steps in kind of putting her in her final resting spot today. So unfortunately I was with you. I wish Paul was with you today, but he's taking care of some of that matters on the home front.
And we are thinking today, Chris, about Paul and his entire family as they lay Sweet Marie to rest. The visitation, 10 o'clock this morning, St. Mary's Catholic Church, with an 11 o'clock mass. And it's going to be a tough day for Paul. And we are sending
for all of us
all of our love and prayers and hugs to Paul and his family.
Yeah, and she obviously is such a big supporter of Paul, but she's always been such a supporter of this radio station and this whole family that we have here. And so it's a hard day for everybody, but certainly for Paul and his family. So we're thinking of you, Paul, and that'll do it for us today. So Paul will be back with you Monday here on the show. Have a good weekend.
A Better Life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Are you doing a lot of mindless snacking these days?